What the fuck is going on here? Jeremy, the fucking ghost!
Fuck you, Ryan.
Every fucking time. What the fuck? You're scaring the old ladies.
What's that?
Other than that, you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video.
Meanwhile.
Right.
My name is Daniel Kibblesmith, and I am the writer of New Warriors #1.
Dude. What the hell?
I want to feel all of the excitements. Snowflake is non-binary. Goes by they, them.
Nerderotic.com.
So
I didn't know that was in the intro because people in the chat just started going with it. I'm like, oh, must be.
Yep, it's in the intro. Hello! Ho, ho, ho. Who are you calling a hoe? Welcome to Friday Night Tights. Christmas special edition. Little baby Yoda or little baby Jesus? What are we going to talk about? Maybe both of them, maybe none of them. My name is Gary Beekler. I come to you from nerderotic.com. I am live in San Diego County, the wonderful winter wonderland of 72 degrees, partly cloudy skies. And we are here to do a short version, not a usual 5 or 6 hour version of Friday Night Tights to keep you all company. So let's go around the horn because not everybody can stay here the whole time because they got to spend time with their families. I'm kind of disappointed with their commitment to the show, but whatever. We'll start out with new dad. Who probably bought your son a bunch of presents that what are they going to do? Pee on them, poop on them? I'm not really sure at this point. Chew on them?
Did you even buy wrapping them?
We got practical gifts this year.
That's good. What'd you get?
Pacifiers.
Diapers.
Yes, like pacifiers, things like that. I actually got him a pretty cool gift, and I'll show it to y'all at some point in the future, but it's a rattle, but it's Mjolnir.
Oh, yes.
Nice. And it has the whoever said be worthy, and then on the back it says his name is worthy.
Oh, I like
Yes.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
Just no expectations on the kid at all. Just lay it on him.
Yeah. I expect greatness from you, son.
Are you going to make him count rocks? That's what Odin
maybe
does.
Maybe one day.
You have to
but yeah,
count.
I'll be on for the next about 35 minutes because we're gonna try and have dinner together. So
all right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we've got we're going to have people here or it's just going to be me at some point. It's okay. It's fine. I appreciate you guys really being here at all. So this is cool.
It's fun.
Ryan, hello. Happy Christmas.
What's going on, Gary? You asked the question, are we here to celebrate Baby Yoda or Baby Jesus? Well, spoiler alert, they both end up dead. Enjoy that Jedi Temple while you can. Baby Yoda before Kylo cuts your head off, because that is what's going to happen eventually. But Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Ryan.
A very Ryan-like intro.
You bastard.
I expected nothing less.
Then
Remember a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Gary, where we met Ryan? We're like, he's a really respectable guy. He's really nice and
very knowledgeable. I'm like, God, this kid might do something. Did not know we were what we were unleashing on the internet.
I tricked everyone. It worked.
That's a trap. Center square is Thomas. Hi, Tom. It feels like so long since I last spoke to you.
I have not seen you in forever.
I know.
I've missed you. And I've missed Az so much. But you should do this right, Gary. Live from no less than 7 different locations throughout the United States and the world. You hear me, Az? It's Friday Night Tights Christmas special.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi.
Live via internet, not satellite. But
As clapping right there was a live action version of what Patty Jenkins looked like while writing the script.
With a crayon in her ear.
In them in our beds.
Don't get ahead of ourselves. We got to introduce everybody else.
But yes, there is a movie that was released today, and we will be talking about it. We will be spoiling it, and hopefully saving you a couple of hours of your time. Hello, Az. Hi.
Hello. Wonder Woman is fucking shit.
Spoiler.
Fucking dog shit. Oh my. Okay. I'm done.
Hi. Okay. Nice review. We'll just clip that out, and I think you can put it on your channel. It'll
Put
be
that
great.
on the poster. This movie is absolute dog shit. Az Field versus Babyface.
What was your coughing video got? What, 12, 15, 16,000 views?
I don't know. I'm going to put cough. Let's see what cough. Let's put cough. How many did it end up getting? We needed to beat 10,000 in a week, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And it ended up doing well. I know that in 24 hours it got over 10,000.
Yes.
Oh, it's on 16 and a half.
16,500. Nice. Love YouTube. Quarter Black Garrett, welcome back.
Hey,
how's it going?
Good afternoon and happy Christmas, everybody. I'm ready to slug it away after watching that shitty fucking movie. Oh my God, I didn't finish it. It was so fucking boring.
It was.
I'm sorry. I can't even.
It
was so boring. It was so boring that my 7-year-old daughter was like, I'm gonna go play. Like,
and isn't that the core demographic for it too?
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm gonna go pretend I'm Wonder Woman so I can actually see Wonder Woman in her own movie, which she really wasn't in. But that's fine.
I actually fell asleep during the middle action sequence with the
with like the convoy. I was like,
It just went on and on and on.
There's a movie called Raiders of the Lost Ark that does it a lot better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Welcome, Quarter Black Garrett. And we have the most humble man on the internet.
Thanks, Steph.
Above average, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Merry Christmas.
Far more above. The only disappointment I had during Wonder Woman is that I told the guys this is I had to watch it with my family, so I couldn't fap during it while looking at Gal Gadot. That would have been the only enjoyment I could find out of this shit fuck of a movie. I didn't finish it.
Everyone's Christmas like that.
I didn't finish it. I got about 30 minutes left. The guys were going live, and it would be far more entertaining to come on here and talk to these guys than to watch that movie.
Let me tell you what happens.
Not worth it.
She fights the bad guy and wins the day. Now, there isn't a giant beam of light going up in the sky, but there's something that's pretty damn close.
Sort of, kind of.
Yep.
Yeah. It's really not a good movie at all. I'm a really big fan of the first film, and this was not a good movie at all. At all. But I'm here, and I'm happy to be here with my brothers for Friday Night Tights.
I renounce white supremacy first, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Look, if
Chris, you're going to make us pretend to do that on Christmas.
Speaking of white supremacy, Merry Christmas. I saw that tweet that Az made. So speaking of white supremacy, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes.
And for the people out there, for the people out there that don't celebrate it, Merry Christmas to you too. Fuck off if that offends you.
Well, to be fair, I always am dreaming of a white Christmas. So.
That's gonna get clipped.
No, Ryan, you're
It's
thinking
white
you're dreaming
Christmas.
of a white supremacist Christmas.
I'm dreaming of a white ethno state. Is that how this is supposed to go? Like, first we were worried about baby it's cold outside. That's the real fear.
Moved on.
Like the show wasn't already the honky show as it was.
Oh my God.
Solidified that shit now.
Already
And our
on the
leader
Mary.
has a pointy fucking hat on, so
Okay, someone said something in the chat, and I think this is debatable. I think this is a debatable question. What was better, Superman 3 or Wonder Woman 1984?
Superman
3. Superman 3.
And it's
That's not even
Superman
a
3 is
point.
better.
Superman 3 is much better.
No question.
I even gonna go Quest for Peace is better.
I will too.
Yeah.
there's an argument there. I was gonna say
Yeah.
Superman 3, there's no argument.
Every single episode of the 70s Wonder Woman TV show, which this was trying to be in some weird way,
It was trying
is much
real
better.
hard.
Yeah.
So convoluted. Such
There's
a
just no
disaster.
entertainment value. That's the problem. It's like the other things, at least you can like laugh at it because it's bad or anything. This is just nothing.
You know what? We just hate women. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
need to come
Well,
out
hey,
with
the women.
not
That's what
gonna
was
be
happening in the
fun.
movie. Every single guy, it was like, hey.
Fancy a rape.
I was gonna wait for Az to say it because I'm not.
And
not as funny
if any of you thought if any of you thought this was going to be like a nice Friday Night Tight show because it's Christmas, this is it. This is it.
If there's any of you out there that thought that, go fuck yourselves, honestly.
I want to
We can't
say
pretend-
Merry
Hey,
Christmas to everyone.
First of
And
all,
thank you for being here.
I unapologetically love Superman 3 and 4. So when I said it was
Yeah.
a debatable, I meant that I figured people would actually no, it's overwhelmingly people are Superman 3, and that makes me happy. So I love all the Reeve Superman
Right
movies.
there
As
with you,
cringe-
Jeremy.
as
This is
cringe as
why
some
we're
of the
friends.
moments are.
Come on.
That's fucking
Now, as many of you
Superman.
know, I hate the movie Avatar. I prefer Avatar to this piece of crap.
I would too.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
would
here's-
too. And I don't like Avatar at all.
Yep.
Well, let me put it this
I
way.
don't like Avatar either. Yeah.
Of all of us on the panel, I probably disliked the original Wonder Woman the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe the changes in this one would get me back on board, but everything is so convoluted and fucking stupid that it almost works against itself. Because the actors, there's nothing wrong with the actors. They're outside of Kristen Wiig, they're fine. The plot is the problem.
The writing.
The writing is
writing
the
is
problem.
horrendous.
You know, the problem is that
Special effects.
Well, the problem is
That's
this movie
true.
never should have happened. This movie was never planned, never intended for. We were supposed to have Wonder Woman, and that was supposed to help us understand where Wonder Woman came from and why she showed up in Batman v Superman. That's it.
Yep.
But then this movie, they're like, wow, that made $1 billion. Well, you know, we're not working with Zack Snyder anymore. He's going to have a little check in the box because he was the creator of this character for our universe as an executive producer. Okay, but Patty, this is your movie. We want you to just do Wonder Woman again. Just do it better. She's
Have
like, well, there
fun.
wasn't really supposed to be a story. And they're like, who cares? She's like, well, everyone really liked Chris Pine and Gal Gadot together. Let's find a way to make that happen. And guess what? We'll set it in the 80s where we can just have a bunch of things that people will feel nostalgia for.
Yeah.
And they just tried to
It's really
cram this movie
right now.
together based on
Everybody
those
likes
two
it.
things.
Oh, like
And
Thing to do is put it in the
We
80s.
better say spoilers.
Is there
Why?
really any
You should
spoilers
be
to be
happy-
had?
You should be happy if I spoil this for you. And in fact, we all knew the
I
plot
did
of
say
this.
we're spoiling it. I did say up front we're spoiling it.
Maybe we should have said spoilers.
No, I did say up front we're
I
spoiling
think
the hell
Ryan's
out of this.
100% right, because that goes along with everything I heard back from my source was, you know, they were trying to distance themselves from the Snyderverse. They were trying to let
Very
everything get really like marveled up in some way or lightened up in another way. And yeah, they let Patty Jenkins have free reign on this. And I do agree with him. I think this whole convoluted fucking plot was just to have an excuse to have Chris Pine back. That's all it really was.
Yeah,
I had no problem with how they got Chris Pine back. What I did have a problem is they stole Quantum Leap, and they took an episode of Quantum Leap, and they took an episode of Wonder Woman. They took Batman Forever, and they stuck it into a blender, and then they put Selina Kyle from Batman Returns, and they pressed the mince button, and then she poured it onto a page and said, "There's a script, there's a plot."
Yeah,
Oh,
I would
here's
actually
Kristen
argue
Wiig.
it's
I
more
think it's
Heaven Can Wait
Edward
than Quantum
Nigma,
Leap,
like
but yeah.
you guys said it. Edward Nigma and Electro from Amazing Spider-Man kind of put together with Selena Kyle like drizzled on top. She was like this, oh, I'm this nerdy girl that nobody likes, and then all of a sudden I get these powers and I'm super awesome and I'm so cool. Nothing in this movie is original. Like we just said, Raiders of the Lost Ark scene, fucking Monkey's Paw. They say it like 80 times in it. It's like, oh, you mean something that's already a story? You're just gonna straight up say that that's what you're doing right now? Okay.
They
I
straight
think
up
we have
said.
to make one thing very clear though. Chris Pine isn't Chris Pine.
No.
Okay.
No, and that's where I say it's more Heaven Can Wait.
He
Yeah.
looks completely different to what other people can see. But he's got the personality of Steve Rogers imprinted on him.
Steve Rogers,
So
Steve Trevor, same thing.
Wonder Woman can see him. Wonder Woman only sees him as Steve.
Yeah.
But everyone else sees him as somebody else.
As somebody else. Yeah.
And it says, I see you for who you are. And it's like, and then you sleep with him that night. And I'm like, wait, what?
And then she fucks him that night.
Yeah. Even
this
she doesn't see Chris Pine.
has been raped by Gal Gadot.
And then at the end, he comes back and has no fucking clue.
His body has been used sexually without his consent, while all the other men in the film, whenever a woman goes past, whenever they sniff a bit of poontang, are going, fancy as fuck. I'll rape you if you want me to.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. As you bring that up, that is a great point. If we reverse the roles, if this was a woman and like somebody coming and using a woman's body, they would probably make that point and freak the fuck out.
Yes, they would. Yes, they would. And like essentially, this movie is all about the D, and then giving up the D to empower yourself at the end. So it's kind of a Captain Marvel that's more tolerable because we like the actress in it.
And there was a lot of reports about Pedro Pascal's character being Trump. I didn't really pick up on that. I think if you want to reach, and if that's what you're looking for, then you might could find some subtle elements. But I don't. That's not a.
He dressed like him a little, like he did in the 80s a little
like
bit.
a businessman in the 80s that had a little bit of blonde hair.
I think they were just
I don't see it at all.
look. If
at one
anything,
point,
I can't remember. Did they say that?
That's what I thought.
All they at one point say is one that in the movie that he is a reality star and a businessman, like he says that himself, and then also Patty Jenkins says that Trump is one of the models they used, but not the only one they used. So
yeah,
I don't really see it. And
you can see it if you want to see it, but it's really not on the nose at all. I think it's the men thing is much more on the nose than anything else.
Yeah. There's little bits like. I thought it was going to be more Trumpish than it was. He obviously did literally build a wall. So
but that was
there's that. And then also at one point randomly he's just walking by somebody and he does this weird thumbs up thing. I was like, that's totally Trump.
Is that Trump?
All he needed was his little dance.
Honestly, they could have trimmed a lot of that out. Like it could have been more heavy handed and they could have just trimmed around it a little bit more.
Maybe
they made him. They tried to make him sympathetic at the end.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I say try to, and I don't say that in a disrespectful way. I actually thought that part of the ending was actually one of the best things about the film, was the fact that she was saying, she got everyone else to renounce, and then she was saying, you need to renounce. And he took it upon himself to say, So I actually quite enjoyed that bit, because instead of just killing the villain all the time, or just having them locked up, just whatever. They actually made him be a
point. They could have done it better, though.
Well, I think the idea of Wonder Woman giving a speech that has every single fucking person in humanity renounce their wish is laughably dumb. You know what I mean? Like,
everyone, fuck you, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, like you tell me there's only one person out there like me,
It should have been him. She really should have been talking to him, and it's him.
Ryan would have been, no, I don't want Baby Yoda back.
On behalf of everyone.
Well, not only that, the end should have been like more like something, because his son was his heart, right? And they kind of gave it away earlier. That scene where he has him in the office, that should have been the end of the movie. It should have been him going, no, Dad, I just want you. I wish I just had you the way you were, and that should have undone everything.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was.
Was that son adopted?
He renounced
was that son adopted?
He took responsibility.
He did.
What did you say, Gary? I didn't.
I asked if that son was adopted or not. I just didn't look.
They never show the mother. So,
Hey, so depending on how the overall perception of this movie is, if it's a Green Lantern style reception or whatever, how long before Patty Jenkins gets fired from her Star Wars project?
Dude, that's why I said it in my video.
It goes with Lucasfilm, where we hire somebody because they were a hot name, and then suddenly do a shit project. Like,
hot name after doing one movie, like one big movie.
That's Hollywood now. No.
And she was a woman. So
and she was and she had a lot of help. Okay, the directors for Captain Marvel, it was a man and a woman who had just done independent films. Marvel directs these movies for them, so they can hire anybody because everything's already set up. And they did the same thing with Patty Jenkins. Show. There was she had a lot of help, and she did a good job in the first one. I undeniable, except for the third act. But no, you should have. This thing should have just been scrapped, Ryan. This is a total turd. It's a total bomb, and
it's too bloated.
Everything was cool and good in the first movie, and you take it out, and you replace it with a bunch of like endless scenes of malls and we're changing clothes and Kristen Wiig being awkward, but like everybody thinks she's sexy.
Wonder Woman is in the movie for the first hour and 5 minutes. She's Wonder Woman wearing her costume for 5 minutes.
Yeah, the opening sequence.
Just weird scene just to have a scene there for no good reason. Yeah. No, and to what you were saying, Jeremy, no, I don't think this is going to hurt her career. If anything, AT&T did her a favor by pulling it out of, it's still in theaters. Yeah. But, they did a favor by throwing it on HBO Max. No. Now nobody can really quantify it as a failure.
No, she'll be in the Snyder Cut.
That's Game of Thrones. That's how D&D
and they get to keep all the money too, because all the money is coming from subscription fees, and they don't have to split that with anybody.
And the critics love it.
It's going to be hard to see how, I don't see this movie having a mega fallout like Game of Thrones. But that was just such a big fallout that you just could not ignore the controversy. I don't think it's going to be like that because the hype wasn't even there. It wasn't fizzle out. Yeah, there was a lot of people that weren't looking forward to this based on a lot of the things we had already heard about it. So the expectations going into this, people had low expectations already. But yeah, it seems like, if you look at the DCEU, which is just a clusterfuck of vision and quality, and this is definitely going to be down there with your Birds of Prey. Me personally, I put Batman vs Superman down there too with them. I think that's just as shitty of a movie as this one. But then you have movies like Aquaman, which feels like a Marvel movie. Then you have Man of Steel, which I think is probably the best, the most widely well received movie outside of Wonder Woman.
Which one? Sorry,
Shazam was pretty well received.
Man of Steel was, I'd say, is the most well received outside of probably Wonder Woman. I don't think Aquaman has that next level appeal because Jason Momoa and all these women went to go see the movie and it did 1.2 billion, which is fine. But it was a Marvel style movie. All of these DC movies have no vision. They're all over the fucking place.
Whoa. Zack Snyder has a vision. You cannot deny that.
No. But I'm saying, but his vision is supposed to be within another world with all these other visions, and none of it matches up.
Now it doesn't match up at all.
It's Warner Brothers. Right. And, hey, Jar Jar Abrams. He's in the background. Jar Jar Abrams is behind that because his wife got rid of the studio head of Warner Brothers, so he would sign that contract, and that was the guy who brought it. Well, that was the guy who brought in the Joker. That's the guy who brought in Snyder, and he got freaking Me Too'd right out of the building from Mrs. Jar Jar Abrams. So, yeah, you got that to think. And he's going to be doing a Superman movie.
And then you have the Joker, which is not even part of the DCEU, which is the best movie in the DCEU by a mile, but it's not even in the structure of the DCEU. It's just a mess.
And Ryan, do you guys know what that studio head did, by the way, to get Me Too'd? He slept with an actress.
Yeah,
horrible.
What studio head
consensual sex with an actress?
He was the inspiration for every man in Wonder Woman 2.
Shit, right?
Go down, babe.
The problem is, even with Zack Snyder, even when he does obviously have a pretty clear vision. He got 1.5 movies basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and Patty Jenkins actually talked recently about the third act of Wonder Woman, the one that everybody kind of hates because it just ends with this big battle against Ares, where she said that was a studio mandate, that they had planned something else. And the studio mandated basically this enormous battle kind of at the end. And they didn't have the budget or the time for it, but the studio wanted that in there.
You could tell.
And,
Can we just say right at the end of the film where Kristen Wiig is in her makeup, and they have actually a close-up of her in a cheetah makeup. I just thought, oh my God, that is the front cover of my first face painting kit.
Yeah, and it makes you like 10 years older too.
Fucking poor. I just laughed.
Yeah.
I laughed.
Let's get some
airbrush.
It's Batman. It's Batman and Robin level. It's that bad.
Only it's not funny. Like Batman and Robin is hilariously bad. This is one where it's like, don't ever waste your time on it ever again. And for those that haven't watched it, don't waste your time on it at all.
And the CG is there's some really bad.
Well, all the
moments.
leaks are true, guys.
Schumacher had a tone.
Yeah.
And this movie was delayed.
Well, I think we've all been able to look back on Batman and Robin and look at it differently than we did. I mean, it's easy to look back on it now and laugh about it. Back then, it was
sexual fantasy.
Yeah, but it was pretty cringe back in the day. But I even loved Batman Forever back in the day. But even Batman and Robin. But even when I got the Batman and Robin, I'm like, this is next level fucking terrible. But then you get removed from it. You get Nolan's trilogy. Then you can look back on that and like, this is a big meme.
Yeah.
So
you know what? Honestly,
she deserves better.
There's scenes in this movie in Wonder Woman 84 that I'm just thinking about. You know, in Batman and Robin, there's these really bad sequences of wire work. That was the level of wire work going on in this movie. And now that I'm remembering, I'm like, wow, they are very similar in how poorly they were done.
It's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like people are just kind of floating through the air, floating around pillars, kicking each other, and they fly into a wall. Like it's so bad.
The opening sequence, you see this. After you see little Wonder Woman running on Themyscira, the opening sequence when you go into this big arena is just like the worst CGI I can imagine, with somebody just swinging from her lasso, and it looks like
no momentum, like nothing.
Worse than Black Panther CGI.
Yeah.
No, it's like somebody was standing in a room and they just moved the action behind them. There was no muscle movement, nothing. It was
a movie
terrible.
that's far better than this and far better than a lot of movies, but had an extremely low budget is Equilibrium, one of my favorite movies. And that had better fucking CG and its limited fucking budget than a lot of scenes in this movie. And that is a low bar because it's a great movie, but it was very low budget. And
they use a lot more practical. They use a lot more practical effects in that one. So
they did.
Today I watched both of the Equalizer films with Denzel.
Oh, nice.
And they were the first one. The first Equalizer.
The first one's
great.
Yeah.
First
really
Equalizer.
Second one not so good. Not as good as the first, but still a good little film. And I was thinking, right now I'm going to watch the $200 million Wonder Woman. By the way, I want to know where 110 million of that went.
Yes.
By
Good
the
question.
way. And it was like, I honestly could not believe this. It was so poor.
Yeah.
It's like the editing was fucking horrific.
You have someone running a film. Patty Jenkins doesn't know what she's doing. Patty Jenkins doesn't know what she's doing. She is the one who not only is directing, but is like running the entire show. You know what I mean?
Also,
and she has no experience in something like this.
She's a sitcom.
How long did she have extra to work on this too? Because this film was delayed as well.
Well, I think it's the reshoots they were planning on.
Massive reshoots.
And I feel, and anybody who was planning on going to see this in IMAX, be glad you didn't spend your money. There's one fucking IMAX scene
in the beginning.
It has some of the worst CGI I've seen. And
I thought I noticed that.
Entertainment industry collapsing is a good thing for the entertainment industry. We need more movies that cost far less than movies like this, where they come out and they're like hundreds of millions of dollars and they're just garbage. They don't show hundreds of millions of dollars on the screen.
We need Tiger King live action.
An exploration. This needed to be an exploration of wish versus reality. and you could have crafted a very good story with Steve Rogers and Gal Gadot, you know, Wonder Woman and Steve Rogers. You could have crafted a good story about Steve.
He did it again.
Trevor. Steven called it Trevor fucking Ranch as
He's the same guy.
Gal Gadot. All right?
Docked 5 nerd points from heel versus babyface.
He got his cock out on Instagram. He was putting the feelers out there.
Wrong Steve.
Gal, we need to pop over here. Because I know that you're
Steven Wright. Let's just start naming Steves.
All these white boys look the same.
Steven Tyler. Steven Tyler was in it.
Stop having a go at my fantasies. So, but you could have had a Steve Trevor for all the purists out there.
Steve Stevens, guitar player for Billy Idol.
Trevor, if it makes you feel happy. You can have Steve
And
Trevor
Nazis.
and Diana Prince. Is that okay for you as well, Diana Prince? Yeah? You could have a nice exploration about fantasy versus reality. The reality that he's dead, the fantasy that he's been brought back due to this wish. You could have made it a much more intimate story. You could have Maxwell Lord being a puppet master, but not this silly. I didn't even understand half of it. When he was like, I want to be the wish crystal. And then suddenly he realizes that if you ask for a wish, he grants it, but he takes away from you. But that wasn't established when
I didn't understand.
Why were they taking a toll on his body? They never really explained that. They just said it was. And,
See, that's another thing they didn't set up. I think he was sick before.
He was coughing
doing
before.
the thing with his head before he made the wish. So I think he actually has like a brain tumor or something like that is the problem.
And they kept that. They cut that out.
Movie that got cut out.
Yep.
He did say, "Give me my vitamins." So,
I think that was code for his medicine.
Yeah. Like
trying to keep
he had that already
from his son. Yeah, and they left that out. Yeah, and you could. Oh my God, you could tell they kept it out. It's bad.
They kept the wrong half hour out of the movie.
It's really
they really did.
I was hoping for DC to like continue the momentum off of Joker and keep going up.
No, what Jeremy said. Jeremy said is Warner Brothers is directionless, and they've always been like that. They've always been reactionary and directionless, and they always pull the trigger too fucking soon. And it's the entire company. DC Comics does this, and now it's reflected in the films. And they can't just fucking stick with something. And then when they go back to something by accident,
like a focus was like Christopher Nolan. That seemed like
he had power. They didn't want to fuck him over, and they eventually did. And they didn't want to fuck him over, so they let him do. Somebody makes you that much money, you let them do what they want, and that's understandable.
Ask a question to the panel. What do you guys think of Chris Evans?
In this movie, I thought he was great.
Yeah, and this one,
he was the best part of the movie.
Chris Pine?
You mean Chris Pine?
Chris Pine?
No,
Chris Evans. As Captain America, I think he can. They can recast him, and I think it'd be fine.
Yeah,
with
Chris Pine. Chris Pine actually should be
with Chris Pine.
Like Chris Evans with I don't know, just off my head, Gal Gadot.
When you say it sounds crazy. But when I think about it,
well, my ex did say walking out of Wonder Woman that it was Captain America with tits.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I don't know. It was Superman at one point, and then it was Batman at another point. So
that was
fly now.
Really did the fist fly?
I'm talking about the first movie as.
So the first sequence where you have the flashback sequence where she as like a 12-year-old child is better than all of the other Amazonians, yet somehow when we saw her in the first Wonder Woman movie where she was like the age to actually become a warrior, she was still having a little bit of struggle before she found that inner power. So retcon whatever you want to do, Patty Jenkins movie. But then you have the first scene, it's just like 80s fucking overload, and they're showing you what a hero. They're trying to be like, hey, Wonder Woman is like that Superman who is saving cats and trees, who is doing everything. That was really the feel I felt like they were going for, and to me, it just fell flat. It was like really clear what they were trying to do, and the way they had these people act, it's not like they were, hey, go and be like you're in the 80s. It was not, no, go and act like you're acting in an 80s movie.
Yes.
It was like
go over the top, go extra.
Through.
Yeah. Best thing in the entire movie, the red Trans Am in the beginning. Gotta say,
That was pretty badass.
Yeah.
I like. Let me grab this random child. I don't want to go back, so I'm gonna grab this child and for plot. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when I brought up with the fashions, and I don't know, some of the older guys can agree or tell me if I'm wrong, but at that point in 84, there's a lot of that stuff I don't remember being fashionable yet. Most of it seemed like late 80s, early 90s. And then the other side of it was like not everybody dressed in the fashion of the time in the time.
No. As a matter of fact, we were clowning fanny packs then, okay? I distinctly remember making fun of people who wore that shit then. So I wasn't wearing. I didn't wear Michael Jackson jackets or parachute. Nobody.
That's the thing. Yeah. Everybody is populated with that kind of wardrobe.
It felt like a
JCPenney's ad. Like everybody looks like they're from an ad. They're all models.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation.
It felt like a Broadway play trying to emulate what people think the idea of the 80s are instead of being a movie set in the 80s. Everybody had the same stuff on to try to give you the member berries or that's the 80s. That's there's an 80s, there's an 80s, but it didn't feel like the actual 80s.
When they zoomed in on fat Americans eating fucking hamburgers and shit. That's how British people see
Look
us.
at the movie Gremlins. Look how everybody's dressed in that. That took place in 1984. Is anybody fucking dressed that way? No. Look at Beverly Hills Cop. That was made in 1984. The one part where anybody's dressed like that, guess what Eddie Murphy does? He laughs at it because they're fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. Is anyone dressed like that?
No. Absolutely not.
Cy Snoodles did have something like that on, but
Gary, I just shared a little breaking news.
Breaking news.
Hell, Back to the Future.
I need a breaking news.
I love this stream because nothing feels like it's Christmas.
It's about like Wonder Woman and the guy that tried to rape her on the street.
I've actually got a follow-up to that one.
Someone said in the chat that Stranger Things feels like the 80s, and it does.
Yeah, they did a good job with that.
Better job, yes.
I got a follow-up to that one.
He fucked him to death.
Who put those up so quick? Who was that?
I think it was Rennie.
Oh man,
Renee.
Thank you. That was well done. Got to give you credit there. Holy crap!
That was done quick.
No, the daytime effect scenes were horrible. The lighting was like, it's sunlight and there's light behind her and then there's light in front of her. I don't know. I guess I'm the only guy.
Dude, the lighting in the entire movie I feel was like really shit. They were walking down the mall in DC. And it was pitch black outside except for the spotlight that was following them down the. I was like, what is this? Who lights the scene like this?
It was very oddly lit.
Incompetent.
Maybe she remembered something her dad did with a light, self-illumination, and she farted something.
Gary, actually, there is some new breaking news. 2 people found mercilessly laughing at Kathleen Kennedy.
Look at George's face.
He hasn't laughed that hard in a while.
Wow.
The last time I saw George laughing like that, I used it for a thumbnail and titled it Kathleen Kennedy, that he hated Kathleen Kennedy, and it got 300,000 views. So
and now you got a new one to use.
Yeah,
you got 2.
Keep fucking laughing, George.
She said she wanted this part to go to Ray.
Oh, but look how good Rosario looks right there. Smile.
Yeah. Especially for age.
Training day, dude. Training day.
Damn.
God, you sound like the men in Wonder Woman now. Oh, look at her.
Well, I'm not saying, hey, baby, come here. Can I? I love it. Like a guy steals her cab.
And what is that clip
where Kristen Wiig is walking down the street? And there's like a whole load of guys on either side. Every fucking one of them is going, all right, darling, fancy a fuck, darling. Want me to help you with
No, but she wanted to be noticed. That was her wish.
Yeah, exactly. No, but what's that clip we got? What's that clip we played a few months ago with that chick where she's like, they warned us about you. They warned us about you. That right there, that is symbolic of Wonder Woman 1984 right there. Like, just warning everybody about men and how evil.
So bad.
They're just here to rape everybody.
And like the thing was, I did expect the movie to be woker than it was.
It was quite rapey though.
But like that was pretty much the only thing. It was very fucking over the top.
If
but
they would have just
there was
stuck
a
it
scene
to cat calls, because like women especially in the 80s got cat calls, like especially in New York, that shit happened. But they, it was like more like, "Woo, what's up?" Whistling and shit, and it probably got really fucking old.
Like,
sure.
Especially in the party scene, right? The party scene where people like a guy saying, "Oh hi, oh hey," like noticing some hot chick as she walks by. Like I don't really have a problem with that. It became when it was about literal rape. That's when it became an issue for me.
Yeah,
It's like every guy that hits
feminist
on her
wish fulfillment.
Yeah.
It's some sad single woman with her cats going, "I wish I was hot. I wish people cared about me. I wish I was entertaining and interesting." And then she did it, and then she hates all the guys, and all the guys are like, "Oh, get over here, hot stuff, get over here." And then she beats the shit out of one of them.
I really wish you hadn't said that, as I'm here on my own for Christmas and I'm stroking my cat.
Hey,
I gotta say,
Awkward.
You're who we were warned about.
democracy.
Hey, but
where's the trigger?
Oh wait, that's not it. Hang on.
Where are the other
Good for you. That's how they painted. That's how they painted every man when he was hurting.
He sounds like President Nixon as Batman. That's what he sounds like.
They did have a president. They did have a forgetful President Reagan who just wanted more nukes. I want more nukes.
I just want more.
Which is
isn't it? That's really topical in 2020. Reagan and his nukes.
Reagan and his nukes, who was like one of the most popular presidents of all time.
Here, I believe this movie was written and directed by a certain person, Queen Brie Larson. Remember that tweet right there? I merely smiled at it.
Right?
Agent, and he asked for my phone number to live life as a woman. To live
on the defense.
Oh, woe is you.
If you're tired of living life as a woman, there's a couple options for you.
Elliot Page.
Elliot
call him up.
It's not
You're gonna be a gamer.
Gotta get running.
Toxic gamer. A toxic gamer.
A toxic one.
I love Nintendo.
I gotta go have some dinner. So
Nintendo.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I love you so much.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, buddy. Best to the family. Thanks for being here, bud.
Goodbye, everybody. Love you. Have a Merry Christmas. See y'all next week.
Bye, Odin.
Bye.
Later. I threw the link is out to somebody else. We'll see if they come in. They said they might. They might not. We don't know. Let's read a couple super chats. Polaris sucks for 2 Canadian pesos. Merry Christmas to you all. Cisco is the best captain. After Kirk, yes, that's fine because Picard has fallen off the list. As a matter of fact, Mercer is a better captain than fucking Picard now after he fucked his character. And imagine if Mark Hamill wrote The Last Jedi. That's what Picard
Captain
is.
Crunch is a better captain.
Captain, fuck you, damn straight. Damn straight.
I honestly think Mark Hamill would have done better.
Captain Wright is the better captain.
Yep. God bless you. God bless you, merry gentlemen, and Merry Christmas from Matthew Anderson for $1.99. Bless you, sir, and thank you for being here. And for everybody who, thanks for the last night stream and stuff. And this goes double for today. Not everybody can be with family. And that's kind of why we're doing this, keep you company for a little while and you keep us company while we ignore our families. No, that's fine.
You're in the other room. I'm just here.
Mine. Yeah. We got dinner cooking and this is a perfect time for me. Almost lost my dog today because Junior let her out. And the first thing she did was punched there's a fence, right? And there's a, plank of wood. She just popped it out and then ran about a block and a half, but she's so fat because of COVID. She got tired and laid down.
My cat got out too today, but he got cold. He's like, fuck this, it's cold.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm going to stay inside. And this guy feeds me. Scottish Will for £5. Merry Christmas, Gary, and the Friday Night Tights blokes and lassies. Say, what up, my knitters? 10 times really fast.
Whoa. You got to be careful with that.
Yeah, you got to be very careful with that. I can't say it fast because I'll mess it up. And then I'll get in trouble.
You say crochets instead of knitters, and it's a whole problem. It's a massive problem.
It's even worse.
Oh, God. I can barely speak normally, much less trying to do that.
Oh,
You're
no.
so smart with that pipe there, Garrett.
What?
Nothing.
Knitters. There. That's the best I can do. You're trying to get me in trouble, Scottish Will.
Fastest you can go.
Roger Haynes for...
Try, hold on.
What?
He muted himself.
No, I failed.
You failed. That's good to test. Yeah, it's good to test.
This is where we block them out.
I'm offended.
And we mute to make sure.
Jingle bells, Boba swells, Grogu ate some eggs. Emotions ran high when Luke dropped by, but is still Star Wars really saved? Disney Star Wars is saved. Merry Xmas Friday Night Tights. Thanks for this year. You guys got me through some lonely times working from home in isolations. All the best. Roger Haynes, thank you for the 5069 Canadian pesos. Arriba. So yes, Disney Star Wars is not saved. No, Star Wars is dead. George Lucas's Star Wars died. Whatever date Star Wars, Disney Star Wars bought it. Lucasfilm bought it.
It's McClunky.
McClunky. CM Shazam. By the way, Shazam is a good DC film. I like it quite a bit. I own it.
Yeah.
$9.99. Merry Christmas, brothers and sisters of the Fandom Menace. May your days be merry and bright, and may all of your Christmases be we denounce white supremacy.
I say we say renounce for the rest of the show because that's more powerful.
Yeah, renounce.
Renounce.
That's all it took Wonder Woman to
give us 10 minutes.
Did she just figure that out? She just figured it out.
Yeah, she just figured it out.
Okay.
How? Because there was no setup that.
No,
I think like we were saying, the 40 minutes or 30 minutes that should have not been cut out were cut out, and the rest was left in that should have been cut out.
So what do you think was cut out?
All the setup with the son, all him, the whole idea that all they had to do was renounce it, because that's the thing is, Steve's having that long, speech about what you have to do. Like, so obviously they uncovered it at some point, and she was just avoiding it.
They talked about that.
It's sickness.
Did they bring it up and I just missed it?
Moment is the best part of the film with Steve and Wonder Woman when he's saying
he is excellent in the film.
He's good.
He's crying. He said, "I can't say goodbye, and he's like, "You don't have to, because I'm already gone."
And
it's just like, And then it's like it's the realization, and it's brilliant. And then it just drives her, and she just goes into fucking.
And then
mode, and it's like,
chemistry is the best part of the film. Like the moment. Oh, sorry, Ryan.
Well, so I didn't mean to interrupt. I just that brought it up to me. I have this question. I didn't know. So in different iterations of the comics, Wonder Woman has flight. Sometimes she doesn't.
Yep.
Obviously, we know that's why she needed a fucking invisible jet to get around. I know there was one point where she could kind of glide effectively and not just straight up flight. Is that what we're seeing here? Is that the power of being able to glide as opposed to straight fly?
Falling with style, yeah.
We can go Chris Evans.
Well, we could do the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That's the first movie, that kind of like glide jump.
No, you could do the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy thing where it's the art of throwing it yourself at the ground and missing. That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because fucking Uche, he loved Wonder Woman 84, and he was like, there was a cool Man of Steel scene.
Are you kidding?
No.
Uche, put the ganja down for 24 hours. That's all I ask. Just 24 hours. Just put the sticky icky down, Just let it kind of run through your system a little bit.
Hot boxing, okay?
Yeah.
And it was taking me, I was like trying to see what he was talking about. That's what he was talking about, where she was the flight scene, right? Which is nothing like Man of Steel and has none of the same.
So she was throwing her rope at the air and then pulling. So that's a Thor thing, because Thor uses Mjolnir to fly, right?
Clouds.
Exactly.
Thor.
And
she's like Spider-Man in the old games where he just shot webs into the
dude.
sky.
Yes, yeah. Just the webs are fucking stuck to anything. Yeah.
She's just always been able to fucking harness lightning bolts and shit with that. I when we saw that in the trailer, I thought they were going to do some like evolution of like her powers or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like, nah, just a lightning. That's convenient.
Just let her
from-
fly. Just fucking
like
just give her the power of
she
flight.
has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like maybe she didn't try it and didn't jump hard enough or something. It doesn't, just let her fly. It doesn't matter.
She can get shot, but she can also grab the axle of a truck and not get hurt at all. Like,
well, her powers were fluctuating. Like I'm cool with that.
from
part.
second to second.
Yeah, but the bullets weren't penetrating the skin, but they would hurt. They were causing her to bleed.
Okay.
Not penetrating like all the rapists in the movie. Shitloads of them all over the place.
Oh.
Women couldn't move.
1984, just riddled. Lousy with rapists.
Year of the rapist.
All
Wonder
the
Woman
rape-
84.
Everybody knows.
Year of the rapist.
Yeah.
Was the year of the rapist.
No, everyone wants to say it.
They really do. And it's I can't. Uche like that movie. Wow. Okay.
Look, it's not. Look, that I think
it's
the
not
problem I
Captain
think we're all
Marvel
having-
annoying, but it's like Chris
Yeah.
Pine. The best moments are him when he's when they actually show the character reverence, like when he goes to the museum, sees the rocket and the plane. You're showing a guy from World War II, like the stuff he loves. And it shows
Landed on the
genuine
moon.
joy, and it was those scenes were cool. But like I watched this to see Wonder Woman kick some ass as Wonder Woman, and then like we finally get it, and she's in a freaking Iron Man. Go what the fuck suit?
Where did she get that?
Come outfit.
Yeah, that was a weird fucking cut because they don't even show her go get the shit.
No,
She was flying in the air as Wonder Woman, and then she came down as
the
Golden Wonder
golden
Woman.
eagle.
No, what? No, she. So
what
she
happened?
was
I missed
flying in the air. She heard a bunch of shit, and you got the impression that she was going to dive bomb towards
She,
the
like,
place.
looked over
And
and
she
was
like
like-
goes down, but she was clearly going to get the
the
suit.
suit that
and
they
then-
cut
But
out.
Another something edited out.
Something that got cut out.
That's from Alex Ross's and Mark Wade's Kingdom Come.
Yeah,
Yes, it is. Yeah. No, but yeah, that
But
was
it
my
made no
major
sense
issue.
in
And
this
that was what I
movie.
was saying
Good
before.
way to waste it.
Yeah, with
I know.
Ryan was the only good part of the movie was their chemistry. Like when the first scene between them was really well done. All their scenes together. He's
He's the best part of the movie. Just
The fish
anything,
out of the water stuff and-
anything
yeah.
with Steve Rogers / Trevor in it is fantastic.
It's not like fucking Next Level what they were doing. They're like, well, you know what? Last time Diana was a fish out of water. Let's make Steve the fish out of water this time, and she can show him this. That's what they were going for.
Yeah.
No,
And
yeah,
I-
but
and-
chemistry makes and breaks a lot of things. So it's like even like Supernatural. I love that show specifically because of the Sam and Dean element and their chemistry. If you take that chemistry out of it, I'm not really into that show. I'm like, this is some stupid shit, but the chemistry pulls me into it and makes it a little more believable and emotionally attached. So the best part of this is their dynamic. So you can kind of overlook some things if you have good chemistry with your main characters, but they didn't focus on that enough at all.
No, he's underused.
No.
He's just
Big time.
he's just following her around for most of it, doing nothing.
What I wasn't a big fan of like the shit we'd kind of already seen when he's like trying on all the stuff. Like, to me, I was okay with a little bit of that, a touch of that, but it was like it just seemed a little overdone.
No, what was
Every scene was like
They
5 minutes
overcooked
too
a
long.
lot of scenes in this movie.
Exactly.
Just
we're
like,
missing
okay,
a lot
we
of
get it.
character development. Sorry, Garrett.
Yeah.
No, I was
No,
just
fuck
saying-
Garrett. No, don't apologize. Don't apologize on here. No,
I didn't mean to overtalk him as all.
Merry Christmas.
Fuck
Go
him.
ahead. One day he's gonna have one of the biggest channels here on this panel. But
Well, that's bullshit. that he doesn't already.
For now, we treat him like shit.
You hear that, folks? You
And
better
I enjoy
subscribe to his channel if you haven't already.
Yes, he has a channel,
The day when I used to treat Gotti like shit.
and now we're kissing his
Back
ass.
on the whipping post. That's okay.
Tied to the whipping post. Oh, Lord,
I think it's gonna look
feel
bad if all the
like
white
I'm
guys treat the
dying.
quarter black guy bad.
I know. I'm right here in the middle. too.
Or 3/4 white. Or
Just
3/4
whipping me.
white. Yeah. Thank you all for the
Kobe.
great streams this year. It was great. It was a
protecting
godsend
you from
in
the
this
women.
horrible 2020 from Jupiter for £5. Yeah, I think there's always good in something, even in what would be considered probably the worst year in a lot of people's lifetimes. Believe it or not, wasn't my worst. I've had a worse year. I've had a few worse years than this. But for a lot of you, it was. I acknowledge it, and we were happy. Thanks for being here for us. That's what I say. Luke's CGI face for £5. May the Xmas Force be with you. Rewatch the Mando Season 2. I think they will erase the Disney trilogy by using Timothy Zahn's trilogy via TV series. 1 of 2, Luke CGI's face for £5. Mandalorian is set in the right era. Ahsoka is hunting Grand Admiral Thrawn, and Disney CGI'd my face in the finale. Han and Leia could be CGI too. Well, they're there. Problem is, Harrison Ford doesn't give a fuck. So you're going to have to do somebody.
He's done, man. He's done.
That was hilarious.
Like, that got stabbed with like a light blade thing.
This entire shit about retconning the sequel trilogy. Listen, if you want them to use the veil of the Force, the world between worlds, to retcon the sequel trilogy, you know what you're gonna have to do? You're gonna have to have another story where they fucking deal with Palpatine. Y'all understand that, right? That's what that fucking requires. So if that's what you're asking for, yet another time where they're dragging Palpatine back, throwing Ian McDermott a fucking paycheck to explain how, well, he actually got killed this way this time, and it still fucks up everything that Anakin did. That's what you're asking for if you want them to retcon it through the veil of the Force.
If he gets rid of Rey, fucking hell yeah.
That's my whole stance. I don't care what they do. Now, again, I don't think it's going to happen. So let me preface what I'm saying. I do not think it's going to happen. But if you're telling me that they're going to fuck some other shit up to unfuck up what they've done, I'm all for it. No, it's not going to happen. I don't believe it anyway. But if it's a convoluted mess and it gets rid of Jake Skywalker and all of that shit, I'm for it.
I think they're gonna retcon it by not ever fucking talking about it ever again.
Best case scenario
that
is
seems to be the most logical way.
You don't have to write some cockamamie story, Disney. All you have to do is say, this doesn't count anymore. We're making a new story. That doesn't count anymore. We're not going to bring back Ian McDermott or anything. That doesn't count anymore. That's all they have to fucking do.
Do you know what if we're being as realistic as possible, and I mentioned this before, I can't remember which video it was, but Jeremy Johns talked about how a lot of the sequel trilogy feels like it's just this small little kind of infighting with a couple of cosplay groups in a certain sect of this giant galaxy, and it feels like there could be bigger powers. The First Order and the fucking Resistance are fighting again. Do we need to get involved? Nah, let them fight. Like, it just doesn't feel big. Now, again, obviously there are things you can point to, the Hosnian Prime and all that bullshit. Clearly it is bigger, but it doesn't feel like it feels so insignificant to the galaxy that it's supposed to be taking place within. I think the most realistic thing is for them to just kind of subtly not directly talk about a lot of the bigger aspects of that. You can mention the First Order, you can mention little things, but that's the most realistic way to just subtly move away from it and not focus on it anymore. But I just don't know. At the end of the day, Kathleen Kennedy is still there, and the Mandalorian is good. The Mandalorian is a step in the right direction, but look at all the projects that were just announced. You've got Patty Jenkins making her movie. You've got Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant that's going to be doing her show. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I don't have an answer, but I just don't think that they're going to retcon the sequel trilogy outright. I just can't see that.
They don't have to. They don't have to. After Friday, they clearly don't have to. They don't have to do a damn thing. They just keep going on the path they're going on. And you're right. Exactly. They're going to eventually mention the First Order at some point because they've been hinting. They hinted to it very strongly in the last 2 episodes. They don't have to do shit because they got a lot of people back in 10 minutes. That was it. That's all it took. Took a little. Now, you got a couple of years. You bought some time. Now you're going to have to bring Luke back again, motherfuckers. Guess what you did? You just opened a can of worms, and maybe you make a series. I don't know, but for right now, you have everybody's attention, and they are very happy. You left on a very happy note in arguably like a very hollow episode. That moment sticks out, but if you think about everything that led up to it just for 2 seconds, you're like, wait a minute. But it doesn't matter because emotionally it connected with people, and that's cool. But they don't have to do anything. Not
took them 9 years.
The problem is if they do a series, eventually I would imagine someone's going to have an issue with the fucking lack of writing that they have all over the fucking place. Like I watched the scene again the other day because I'd only watched it once. That wasn't like just people reacting to it on stream and everything. And I thought about it. I'm like, I thought it was strange that Luke was just like, hey, I'm taking the child, but also that he wasn't like, who are you? Why does the Empire want you dead? What's going on?
Yeah, no, Ryan.
The idea
they just handed a baby off to a guy they've never talked to before. I was watching it for like the 5th time, and I finally caught that. I'm like, They didn't ask
And
any
there's like
questions.
all this emotion, and he's like, "Oh, we were so connected." I'm like, "You guys, you had like a ball. That was your only connection. Was a little knob." Like I don't.
Well,
I don't think this connection between you guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, they clearly couldn't do a lot of dialogue and have him have a lot of emotion because it was already awkward enough for the little bit of dialogue he had.
But people saying we had Luke back, we had the Luke Skywalker, his character back. It's like, is it in character for Luke Skywalker to just walk in, say, "Give me that baby," and leave? Like, you know, like that was my thing. Like,
no, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He said he protect the child till he dies.
The baby, he comes.
Yeah, he asked for permission. Like y'all are simplifying it way too much. There's problems, but you're oversimplifying it.
You keep your Jedi weapon. You give me a baby.
The scene made so many people happy.
Luke
Cannot
knows
deny
the
that.
baby wants to go with him. That's why he says, "Come here, little guy." And then Mando says he doesn't want to go with you. And that's when Luke says he's asking your permission.
Yeah, he literally says, "I will protect the child with my life," but you're saying he just walks in and says, "Give me the baby," and leaves. You're leaving out obvious
what I'm
stuff
saying
to
is
make a point that it wasn't good.
Apparently, the rest of the galaxy doesn't think the Empire fucking matters anymore and is doing anything.
I'm
Luke
not
just walked
arguing
in
that,
and
but you
shut down
still
all
left
these
out key
things,
stuff that
and-
he said because you didn't like it, but it still doesn't change the fact that he literally said a lot more than just "give me the baby and leave." There was a lot more to that. And if you're going to make your point, then don't leave out crucial elements of what Luke Skywalker, the guy that everybody fucking got excited for, said. It's not like he went in there and whipped his dick out. He was still Luke. He was still like showing that side of Luke that we
kind of
didn't
whipped
see
his
in
dick
The Last
out
Jedi.
with this big lightsaber. That was whipping your dick out a lot.
Like he didn't go, "Hey, give me the kid. Bye."
I know.
He's
That's not what he did.
And Ryan,
You're right,
how
you're right.
dare,
That is simplifying.
Ryan, how
He said,
dare you talk to your mother that way on Christmas
he said,
Day?
I'm here for the child, right? And he says he's asking your permission. Then he goes, but one thing that Luke would have done, I think, would have been to say, like, "Who are you? Why are you here? Why is the Empire trying to kill you? Why is the Empire trying to kill him? What the fuck led up to this point?" None of that. It's just
Ryan, the answer is very simple because they have the Jedi baby.
yeah, okay.
Well, and then Moff,
They got everything they need.
You don't think that
walked
Luke
away and left
Skywalker, the
him.
hero that you're all that everyone's been talking about for fucking years, would care about these people? Like anything that happened to them on this ship that's clearly the Empire coming back?
I mean, you're asking questions.
You just hacked up a million fucking battle droids.
Well, you're asking questions,
Doesn't
but
mention it.
we don't have any clarity on it, so you can't be mad at it. You're just asking questions that aren't answered at this point.
And it's one individual cruiser. It's not an armada. It's one individual cruiser.
Boba Fett said the Empire is back.
There are going to be
given in the show.
individual cruisers.
I'm taking what's given in the show. Boba Fett said the Empire, they're back.
You're not, though. You literally left out what was given in the show to make a point that is bad.
Boba Fett said that, not Luke.
Okay.
So, I'd say have a go.
I think
at
there's a
Boba
lot
Fett.
of mystery box going on here.
There's
So
a lot of problems with it. I'm not saying that, but the moment was awesome, and the people have responded because we got the person that we all wanted to see. And yes, you can say there should have been more. There's always a could have, would have, should have been more type of stuff. I love The Dark Knight. Batman could have fought a lot better, and his voice could have been a lot more less fucked up. I mean, there's always something more you want, but what we got was awesome. Now, what it leads to, we don't know, but we all are going to be concerned because that horse face is still running Lucasfilm. But what we got was awesome. That was
I think
awesome.
the main reason why people are still kind of like questioning it and still like, I don't want to say nitpicking, but like really analyzing it is because we got fucked over so bad.
Yeah.
And if we got this first, we would have been
No,
great.
this
It would
is
have been
not
like,
like
perfect. This is
Kathleen
great.
Kennedy was not building to this at all.
We
She-
kind
Now
of
we're
did
like,
get
well, okay,
this,
that,
so-
and that. Like,
this
you
was
better
good as-
explain it to me now because you didn't explain it to me before.
Again, we did kind of get this with The Force Awakens because they built up all that love for Luke and left us hanging for 2 years, making us believe that we were going to walk right into that. So, like, The Force Awakens was widely beloved for the most part, as much as the Mandalorian season 2 finale. That's how widely received The Force Awakens was.
It was.
And they fucked us all
Red
over.
Letter
They
Media
fucked us
liked
all
it.
over.
When I saw Red Letter Media fucking like that movie, I thought I was going crazy. I'm like, they liked that movie, and I'm like, oh my god, thank God I found Jeff from World Class Bullshitters after that, because I was like, I thought I was done. I thought, okay, my taste is dead, because like I obviously am like the only one who doesn't like this thing, but.
And I think that's what a lot of people are looking at. And I'm not saying everybody. I know Ryan's one of the few people that were, anti. It seems like everybody now hated The Force Awakens. We all know it's just not fucking true. Yeah. Every fucking body's like, oh, I was ahead of it. Motherfucker, I couldn't find anybody, okay? So clearly people, and that's fine if you change your tune. There's no problem with that. But The Force Awakens was overwhelmingly positively received. And we went in 2 years of anticipating that moment with Luke, and then everybody got fucked over. And I think a lot of people are looking at this going, I love that moment, the end of Mandalorian, but the last time I got excited for Disney and Luke, motherfucker threw his lightsaber over and drank titty milk. So the concerns are valid. Nobody is saying you can't be concerned. I'm concerned. I think everybody is concerned, but that moment was awesome.
Yeah, to me, I think one of the things I think that so many people are happy because look, we had The Last Jedi. This almost unified fucking hatred for that movie for a multitude of reasons. Some people it's because of the writing. Some people it's because of the identity politics. Some people it's for the disrespect of the character. And like the level to which that exceeds the point for each person is going to be different. I didn't like the way they treated Han Solo in The Force Awakens. I thought what they did to his character was essentially as bad as what they did to Luke Skywalker.
It was.
Like reverting him back to the same person he fucking was, having no growth in his character whatsoever, a failed husband, a failed father, and one who didn't give a fuck, essentially. He's just doing the same shit he was doing when he was 25 years old. To me, when I look at The Mandalorian, we just had an hour-long discussion about how shit fucking Wonder Woman 84 is. Not really because of the identity politics. We have one thing out that the rapey men. But other than that, it's because of the fucking writing, because of the character development, because of all this shit. That to me is a lot of what I see in Mandalorian, the problems in Mandalorian. And I feel like, I just, that's where I'm focused on.
But again, you can't make that connection because I could tell you the writing in Batman vs Superman is just as bad as Wonder Woman, but you like Batman vs Superman. It's still shitty fucking writing. Mandalorian is not a convoluted mess. Mandalorian is not a convoluted mess. Mandalorian doesn't feel like 5 different fucking visions slammed into a 30-minute episode. You may not like the vision, but it's a pretty clear layout of what the Mandalorian is. And yeah, you could say, oh, it's a Western one time.
Star of the week. Yeah, that's what
it's still consistent. It's still consistent.
It suffers from the opposite. It's not convoluted. It is so down to just like a single point. It goes, okay,
Wonder Woman's convoluted.
Next thing. Wonder Woman suffers from the opposite. It is convoluted. It goes on forever. It's way too boring. Mandalorian is very simple. It's super simple. It's almost so simple.
That's what Disney, like Disney Star Wars needed that. They absolutely need it. I mean, it's too simple, but for me, and I think Ryan, the Bill Burr scene in the second to last episode is everything I wanted out of The Mandalorian. That one little scene. Right. That was fucking great. That's my most memorable scene from season 2. I loved it. And I'm like, God, that's what I thought I would get. But you know what? It's obviously working for them. And that's what they needed to do. And we'll see where they go from here. Because I said this on the Inquisition 3 weeks ago when I said that The Mandalorian is probably The Force Awakens all over again. It could be. Or it could be a new path.
I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Well, again, I've said the last 3 or 4 videos I've made on Geeks and Gamers about it. I believe most people like The Mandalorian more than I do. I enjoy it for what it is. I've been critical of it along the way, but I can recognize when people just like something a lot. And I don't hate it. I like it. I enjoy it. But it's almost like Rogue One, where I didn't hate Rogue One, but I was very kind of on the fence with Rogue One. And I felt like most people really enjoyed Rogue One far more than me. And that's the vibe I get from The Mandalorian. It's fine. It's got a lot of problems. I understand the continuity problems that people have. I understand the lore problems. I don't really get caught up in a lot of that. But I just don't. I have my own problems with it. But I feel like, generally speaking, I feel like people enjoy the show more than me. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But it is good. It is good, and it's a step in the right direction.
It's a step in the right direction because we at least removed most of the identity politics. We've removed that section, so now we're just talking about straight story and writing, and we're complaining about that, which I'm so much grateful for that. Like, I'd rather us be complaining about different.
Oh, you got somebody backstage, by the way, Gary.
Yeah. And there's this balance we have to strike, right? Because we don't want to overpraise Disney, so they start going back into the old direction. But you want to acknowledge when they do something good. I get it.
Yes,
I get it. Hey, MauLer, how's it going?
Hello.
What's up, my friend?
Oh, you
Merry
know,
Christmas.
just chilling. Watched some Christmas movies, hanging with the family. Post Christmas now.
Are you gonna do a breakdown of how well written Jingle All the Way is?
Oh man, you know, dude, the Big Show punching Vern Troyer, I think, across the room. That is next level content.
Hey, that's better CG than Wonder Woman 1984.
I haven't seen it yet. What's the word? Is it
Bad.
Yikes, dude, big yikes.
Yeah, you're gonna have fun with that one.
Yeah, you are.
Don't worry about spoilers because there's nothing to be spoiled about. So,
oh man.
Oh yeah, everything that we guessed was correct. By the way, way before the film released.
I'm genuinely excited. I've seen that picture of
everything resetting.
Some of the CGI. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? No spoilers. I'm gonna watch it with a bunch of people. We'll record it. It's gonna get edited, and the EFAP audience will have a fun time with that.
Yes, they will. Yes, they
Yeah,
will.
did I come on a discussion on Mando?
Yeah,
you did.
How's the teams looking? Is it Ryan versus all of you? Or?
No.
Thumbs up.
I'm kind of I like it. I like it, but like I've just got done saying, I feel like people like it more than me, but I still enjoy it, and I see both sides. I see the positives and I see the negatives people have with it, and I've had my ups and downs with the show. But since that Ahsoka episode, and I didn't think that I would love the next one, which was the Boba Fett episode. I was expecting a big drop off, and I really enjoyed that episode. And season, what was it? What was the one with Bill Burr?
That was the second one, chapter 15.
I feel like everybody loved that episode. Thought it was the best episode of the entire series, and I didn't like it that much. Didn't hate it.
Pretty funny.
Yeah, but I like the show. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what kind of conversation we're having. I'm totally up to.
I'm with Jeremy. I think it's a 7 out of 10. It's what Star Wars needs. It's just not floating my boat. But Gina Carano. I love Gina Carano, so I'm going to watch it because I love Gina Carano. I forgot to... Merry Christmas, Gina Carano, by the way.
She is awesome.
She is awesome. But no, it's got a lot of problems. It does. But they're story problems. They're like normal problems. They're not identity politics. Now, I know some people are going to go, especially with the last episode. Yeah, there was a girl power scene. Yeah. In the moment you want to...
hot take. I think that was the best of the three, being The Boys, that one, and Endgame. The Endgame one was embarrassing. The Boys, I felt, don't know how everyone feels on this, was The Boys was like, hey, you know what Endgame did? Pretty lame. We're not going to do it. And then they did it. And I was like, okay. And then, of course, this one did it, but it was completely supported. There's no reason why they couldn't. And they didn't lampshade it. They just this is some girls shooting some stormtroopers. All right? That's all it is.
I didn't have a problem with that. The only problem I had is you're trying to establish Boba Fett as a badass, and you had him get kind of his ass whooped.
Whip his ass.
Yeah.
The only problem
we've had
a different episode.
Mandalorian with them, like he was in the other episode.
Well, MauLer, I took a line from one of your favorite people when I was discussing the final episode of The Mandalorian. No bullshit. There was a suspicious amount of females in the final episode.
My cockles came up whenever I was like, "Wait, where did that other Mando guy go? Did he just
when they went to hyperspace and they were about to exact the plan, we were like, "Where's the guy? Like, wasn't there a guy?
He died somewhere."
They would have had to come up with another excuse for him to not go with them, so they just didn't include him.
Yeah, that wasn't as bad as Ryan saying there was a random black person in the Lord of the Rings video game that made it woke. Remember that?
That's true. There's a random black guy in Lord of the Rings video
It's a joke. It was a joke.
Well, the question got asked is, I forget which one that was. Is that game woke? And I was like, I don't know. Pretty sure there was a female like Captain of Gondor and some random black dude. Is that
Oh no!
It was very stupid, man. So stupid.
But yeah, I mean that final episode, I didn't like that one very much at all until Luke came in, and then they got me with Luke. But that entire episode I felt was very boring. It felt like a Terminator episode, kinda. I mean, it was strange. Mando being stupid as always, turning his back on Moff Gideon to go pick up Baby Yoda. He's just so dumb sometimes.
Moronic.
But then the Luke moment, I I will gladly forgive the shit episode because that moment was amazing. So absolutely.
And for me, the Luke thing, it's cool to see, but I didn't get that same feeling that everyone else did when Luke came back. It's definitely not enough for me to forget everything that happened before and everything that happened the first season and then the second season. And I feel like the second season is an absolute like, hey, we need to get as many people on board as we can. But instead of doing that by actual good storytelling, we're just going to be like, hey, remember this person, remember this person, remember this person, remember this person.
Who equated it to the Forrest Gump? Whoever, I forgot. Somebody equated it to Forrest Gump, but that's exactly what it was.
Somebody did say that. No, that's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah,
it is kind of like Forrest
Gump.
Gump.
That might be Critical Drinker, maybe? I don't know, because I've heard that too.
Yeah.
You have 8 episodes a season, so if you don't do anything with them, people are going to complain that they're filler and doing nothing. And if you put them in here, then you've got people going, well, they're just jangling keys. They have to advance stuff.
But you can jangle keys while supporting it. You can support. So Vader in Rogue One was jangling keys, but it was supported by the narrative. There was a reason he was there.
Yeah, well, that was more key jangling because they actually used Vader completely incorrectly.
Why?
Yeah, I mean, my issue with that,
Vader's not the person that does the donkey work.
Bullshit.
He
wasn't the first Star Wars movie.
Donkey work. He's not the first man there.
Vader's feared throughout the galaxy. He doesn't do that just by talking to people in different ways.
No, but in A New Hope, it's when they board the ship, it's the stormtroopers that come on first, and Vader comes on last.
Yeah, but he was rushing in Rogue One. In this, it was a boarding party.
Yeah.
He would have just flooded. He would have flooded the corridors with stormtroopers and gone through.
But they were captured. The Tantive 4 was captured.
Mandalorian
in Rogue One, they were rushing to get the key card thing before it was sent. So Vader went into
the corridor. He was very nicely choreographing his way through.
Well, I mean, he doesn't want to get shot.
Why didn't he just grab the Force guy and yank him back?
He didn't know that guy had the card.
Of course he did. He's the one who's doing.
Dude, he's getting shot at. He's killing everybody.
With ease,
my issue with that scene is how badass he is in that scene, and then just a little while later when he fights Obi-Wan, it just feels like a completely different person from a continuity standpoint.
I don't want to tell you, like, it's just there's a bit of clunk to that fight in
no, absolutely.
Obi-Wan is also like 20 years older than he should be in the
right, but you also got guys, saying, "Don't frighten us with your sorceress ways, Vader," and all that kind of crap, acting like he ain't all that in a bag of chips anymore like he used to be. And Script Doctor made a good point. Like, once we see him in A New Hope, or Star Wars as we used to call it when we were kids, he's in there, he's not doing the dirty work, but what he is doing is he gets up and close and personal with Antilles, and he's like, where the fuck are the plans?
And he also,
he's like a high knight. So
when's the next time they have to rush as well? At the beginning of Empire, he's leading the charge in Empire.
Yeah,
when he comes into Echo Base,
he moves up.
And he rolls up.
He's almost in front of everybody when they get to the Millennium Falcon. There's probably a couple of stormtroopers that are in and around it, but my point is that he's on the front line.
Yeah, he's there.
In Rogue One, he's on his own.
Yeah, because he's first.
No, but he's on his own. You don't see the stormtroopers come behind him. They only turn the stormtroopers.
You do right at the end. The stormtroopers are behind him.
They're behind him.
Gone. When the ship's gone, then the stormtroopers come.
Yeah, okay, so they're behind him.
But he was a little faster this time.
He should have been flooded, but they wanted to have a Vader being.
That's fine.
Vader. But the whole thing is the whole timeline's messed up anyway, because there should be much more distance between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope anyway. That timeline's cocked up. Like Tom said, when they're referring to him in A New Hope, Sorcerer's Ways, the whole Jedi thing's becoming more of a myth than an actual memory. He's been referred to as Grand Moff Tarkin's attack dog. As well. So he's kind of not just the Emperor. He's not second to the Emperor. It's the Emperor. Then it's Grand Moff Tarkin. Then you've got Vader doing it. So he's in a completely different place in the original trilogy to how he's being treated now. And it's because of the way he's been treated since the prequel trilogy that makes people say, "Oh, well, he's now a badass of the galaxy." It's that which has actually built that myth up. But the original trilogy,
I would argue that starts with Empire.
I'd agree.
They clearly, when making Empire, realized that people fucking loved Vader.
They bumped Vader way up.
Yeah, but that comes after A New Hope.
Okay.
So they're using what happened in the New Hope. They're using the popularity of the villain in New Hope to give it more airtime, to give him more airtime. And obviously, you go with the story of
he was the only one of the few to survive the Death Star as well.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, with that scene,
popular.
I view the Vader scene in Rogue One and the Luke scene very similar. I feel that it makes people, and again, just for the episode of that Mandalorian, because I like a lot of the other stuff that the Mandalorian's done, but that episode and Rogue One, I did not like either one of those leading up to those moments. And then you see that moment, you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then the carryover into how it leads into, with Princess Leia and everything, that is similar to what happened with the Mandalorian season 2. I think everybody else thinks that episode from start to finish was great. I didn't like it at all. And without that Luke moment, I'd be bitching a lot more about it.
This is a kind of a soap opera technique. It's something they fail to do in Star Trek Discovery, like every 5 minutes when they try to make people cry. They try to connect. They're trying to get you on an emotional level. So and that hides a lot of story. That hides a lot of plot holes. What you were just talking about with Supernatural. You like the characters. So you forgive a lot because you like those characters, and that's the way I am too. Like I'll look past a lot of stuff if I just dig the characters in a show. But that Luke scene was pure emotion. That's all it was. I mean, they knew what to do. It was simple.
All the stormtroopers that are just stand-up dolls for them to get shot, and they run in, dead. They can't shoot or hit anything. It's fucking ridiculous. You forgive all that, and you're like, hey, Luke. I like Luke. It looks like Luke. It sounds it kind of looks like Luke. It sounds like
I am a Jedi.
Then you go fuck all that stuff. It doesn't matter. Luke's cool, which is great.
Our emotional.
I thought that scene was great, but I also have a lot of caution because I got that shit. Shit happened to me last time when I saw Luke, and I was like, "Oh, Luke looks so majestic and awesome up on that cliff. It looks cool." And then throw lightsaber. I'm waiting for the throw lightsaber moment.
Everybody thinks remember the grave? Remember the grave he was supposed to be standing at the island? Remember the fucking endless speculation? Now that's Baby Grogu's grave.
Oh, no. One can only hope.
Our emotional attachment or lack of emotional attachment has a lot to do with how we look at these things.
Yep.
I mean, MauLer, this is why MauLer just looks at things completely different than me. He knows how to look at things strictly objectively. And I mean, not to say he doesn't look at things subjectively, but he's really good at just wiping everything away and looking at it for what's right in front of him. So like I've always said, I like the movie X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's a bad fucking movie. And what they did to Deadpool is downright offensive to a Deadpool fan. I fucking hate the character of Deadpool. So I kind of found some enjoyment out of the fact that they taped his fucking mouth shut. Now, Deadpool fans think that's absolutely offensive in every way possible. So I get it. A lot of people can't separate the fact that sometimes you do or don't have an emotional attachment. We see a lot of people that have latched on to Disney Star Wars who didn't give a fuck about Star Wars, and a lot of them are just anti-white males. So when they see Luke Skywalker being neutered, that fits their agenda, and they want to tell you, oh, Luke was treated perfectly because every white man should cuck before his life is over. That's how they view this shit, and we all have an emotional attachment. Like, that's not Luke Skywalker. So it's just your lack of emotional attachment, or your emotional attachment plays a part in how you view things a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But we also have to remember that the parts that we're upset about were actually brought upon by 2.5 people, KK, Ryan, and partially by JJ. JJ at least admired Luke, and you can see that in The Force Awakens, and he had bigger plans for Luke. You can tell that. It was Ryan that wanted to devalue Luke, and KK was all for it because
JJ still wrote like Luke's final. People forget Fall of Skywalker. Luke is sitting there just showing reverence to Leia and talking about being a stepping stone for fucking.
Talking about damage to Star Wars, Luke was definitely a big portion, but like JJ fucking annihilated Return of the Jedi's ending.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, well, by the time we get to the Rise of Skywalker, I've said it before. All the Rise of Skywalker is the world's most expensive Twitter fight between two directors.
That's true.
And they're just trying to tie shit up and end it.
Nobody's saying "fuck you," you did this to my thing, and it was just that's all it really was.
JJ didn't care enough about Luke to actually do the next movies.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to give JJ any credit. That's why he's half. But yeah.
They shouldn't have gone forward with this trilogy without planning it, and they had no plan.
Exactly. They did, and they threw it out.
That was the first thing that they needed to nail down, and they didn't do it. And then they said, "Oh, JJ's going to start it, and then another director's going to come and he's going to continue, and then another director's going to come in and finish the ending." Where they said, "But we haven't got, they're going to sow seeds, and we're going to take it from there." fucking, that is the worst idea. And look how it's turned out. A fucking disaster. An absolute disaster of storytelling, because Ryan took it upon himself to fucking kill every thread that Jar Jar set up. And then by the end of Jedi fucking wankers, by the end of that program, you're just like, fucking hell, this has got nowhere to go, and I don't care. Because Luke's been fucked up. All the rebels are dead. You know, there's no...
Every single member of the trio is dead.
Yeah.
They all died.
Yeah. Leia's died in real life. And Luke's dead in the show, and Han's dead in the show. Nobody wants to come and help them, and they've got 3 people and a fucking 2 robots.
No one wants to come and help them until until Lando just scrounges up the entire fucking galaxy to hyperspace
every single ship.
You take on that sort of property, you need to say, right, we need to work out a trilogy. This is where it's all going to flow. This is where it's all going to go. If you want to bring in different directors for each movie, fine. But the directors have to have the understanding of where the story will go. And that's the biggest mistake. So whoever decision that was, whether it's Bob Iger or KK, that's the ultimate buck right there.
I agree with you. However, if Rian Johnson had full control over this trilogy and he wrote it from start to finish, it would have been a garbage fire as well. Like we would be sitting here saying it's not that it wasn't planned, it was that he has insane ideas and doesn't even know how to execute them, sort of thing.
Yeah. What I'm saying is you would hope
chose the wrong people.
You need to plan a trilogy. You're hoping it's been planned by competent people, not
absolutely.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of us, present party included, were slapped in the face with The Last Jedi as like, oh, they're fucking this up. But the reality is, it was fucked up long before The Force Awakens was ever gone into production, because their ideas for what they wanted to do with Star Wars were just so far removed from what Star Wars was. Yeah. And The Last Jedi exposed it for a lot of us, but the problems happened.
It was given to people that never understood Star Wars. And just saw, okay, Star Wars, we can sell that because people like it. And then we saw that those fumes ran out by the end of the trilogy, and nobody gave a fuck about it until they rebooted it with Mandalorian, and then got the people that originally liked Star Wars back. And they're slowly trickling it back in and trying to go, okay, you guys like it, right? You guys like it?
It's fucking amazing how many times they can resurrect this thing and still get people back. The emotional connection people have with this is, I mean,
Gary,
I had
clip
it too.
You used from Red Letter Media, the what did Rich Evans say? The 80s villain or whatever.
It's an 80s horror villain. Yeah,
you will not die. A stick and it just pops right back up. Yeah,
right out of the ground.
That's what it is. It's incredible. I mean, and I had that connection for fucking decades. And
TLJ severed it for me. It's too late.
Me too. I just can't. I can't. I mean, I was genuinely happy to see people experiencing joy collectively this year. I think that's a good thing. We don't ever want to shit on that.
I'm with you on that, but at the same time, seeing Luke in that episode, I fucking had TFA flashbacks. I really did. I was like, you're not going to get me this time. It's not going to work.
Exactly.
But it obviously worked on a lot of people.
Oh, totally.
And
have you guys seen TLJ fans getting upset about this? Like TLJ fans are like, what the fuck? This is not the Luke we know.
And
Brian Young's Twitter thing. Did you guys see that? Oh my God, he went on a little this. It's a manifesto of Luke Skywalker. Like, he was triggered.
Somebody.
Luke at the end of The Force Awakens is dressed as a Jedi. He's not dressed as the fucking hobo.
Yeah.
Somebody said in the chat, no customer is really gone. That's the Disney.
I mean, yeah,
that's not how consumerism works.
Powered by enhanced audience data.
Audience enhanced. Oh, I can't even remember what it is now. Audience driven, enhanced audience driven data.
And that to me is what I see with with the Luke Skywalker thing, because I think there's a lot of problems with The Last Jedi. When I laid him out before, aside from identity politics and the bullshit they said to the fans, a lot of it has to do with the care and the planning and the writing. And to me, I think what a lot of people just showed was like, well, all you need to do is give us Luke Skywalker for a second, and we're good to go. We're back. And to me, I think that people are forgiving and forgetting a lot of what I think is very wrong with this entire season of Mandalorian. And and like now they're all in, and that's fine. That's up to you. That's your choice. If this was what you wanted, if this gave you what you were feeling for, then I can't say anything, and I won't try to change your mind. All I can do is say why I don't feel that way and why I think that in the future it's just going to be more of the same.
Be prepared to have the rug pulled out from under you if you dive in emotionally with Disney Star Wars. I think that's what a lot of us are trying to say. We don't want to be mean about it. We don't. We want you to enjoy this. And God, I hope I'm fucking wrong. I hope I'm dead fucking wrong that this thing just steers right away and they just say the Disney trilogy doesn't count, and then we get some fucking rockin' Star Wars. Great. That's awesome. That's what I want.
People said before, clearly the heart's in the right place.
Yes.
They just need people now to strengthen up these scripts because holy shit.
Yeah.
John.
Like seriously, pick an episode in season 2. There's just infinite problems.
There is. I'm going to do my review of the full season. It's going to, but you know what? It's better than fucking reviewing Picard. Oh my God. It's like, it's so much better. I think, by the end of this, I think it'll be a Game of Thrones season 8, Last of Us 2, Last Jedi fucking meltdown by the end of this. By when we get there.
Exactly. Game of Thrones, Star Wars, all these events of leading up to just complete shit have just completely jaded me to all of this franchise shit. I'll watch it from afar and go, "Oh, I like Luke. That looks kind of cool. I like a lightsaber. That's awesome." But I'm not going to invest in any of this fucking shit until at least 8 years from now. 8 years from now, I'll consider it.
I mean, we're at a point where it really doesn't matter what opinion you have on The Mandalorian. Like, we're so used to there's all this bullshit going on, people, fandom menace fighting and all that bullshit. That's because there was a unified vision, okay? Everybody fucking hated The Last Jedi.
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody, okay? So it was a unified vision. It just shows how bad those fucking movies were. There was nobody defending them unless they have pronouns in their bio.
Yep.
Nobody fucking defended them.
And those people didn't exist.
Yeah, then you got The Rise of Skywalker. No, even worse in a lot of ways than The Last Jedi. Unified hate.
Yeah, even more unified.
Movies.
We had bonus people join in the team.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Bonus people.
Now,
team switchers.
Now we're at The Mandalorian, and that unified group of people are all over the fucking place. And they want your opinion to reflect their opinion. And if your opinion doesn't reflect their opinion, they're going to spurg out. That's just what's going on. You got every type of person in this panel, and everybody is going to have a problem with somebody else's opinion, as far as Twitter and all that shit. And that's just how it is. And that reminds me so much of the fucking prequel era, so much of the prequel fighting. At least I'm not being called a fucking racist or a sexist. Okay. Yeah. That's my bar right now.
You're a sexist.
Yeah. Like, you're this or that. That's fine.
But the problem with all you guys, you're all white.
I do denounce white supremacy, but I also want to say Merry Christmas.
Black. I'm not sure if that was you're all right or you're all white. I think
you said you're all right.
What do you mean?
All white.
You're all white. I still, I'm looked at. I still don't get it. Are you white?
Yeah,
you're all white. You guys are white, or are you all white?
Not all right.
Oh, I'm all right.
All white?
You're all fucking white.
He called you.
It's a motherfucking white Christmas. That's what it is.
You guys just don't understand Ebonics, okay?
Yeah, it's the Ebonics. I can't understand.
Guys are so fucking racist. Jesus.
No, Jeremy, you're right. It's just like the prequel era. It is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that. I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
They got Clone Wars, which I've just finished, and fucking hell, that was great.
Yeah, Clone Wars is good, and what the Mandalorian is doing is probably going to do the same thing for the Disney trilogy. It's going to provide context for it, give it to fill in a little blank here, fill in a little blank there, change a little canon here. And that's it. That's it. They're not going to erase anything.
Yeah. What was Drinker's opening line in that video, Ryan, of his?
He's like, the Mandalorian. I'm not going to do his fucking accent. He basically said it's like fans are like fucking abused wives, where they've been beat and fucking smashed in the drywall and all this shit, but then they still are like, well, he didn't come home drunk tonight. Maybe he'll get me flowers tomorrow. Yeah.
Like, Drinker's video is so on point. It really is. Like, I loved his take on it. And there is a video game element to The Mandalorian, no doubt about that. But it'll be interesting. But I do think that no matter what happens, if they I think a lot of people are worried about the next step Is where a lot of the apprehension is. It's like the next step. Like somebody's gonna have some chick's gonna have a dick next season. That's pretty much what people are expecting. Somebody's gonna whip one out, and I get it. That's a very valid concern to have, but it does feel more like the prequel era than the sequel trilogy, fighting that was going on, which there wasn't really fighting in the sequel trilogy.
For now,
we all fucking hate
now.
this shit.
And that Disney could absolutely revert to that, and I think that's what a lot of people are saying. It's like easy with the praise, okay? Like I'm glad you were excited, but for one, Kathleen Kennedy's job was probably saved by the Mandalorian. I have no definitive information on that, but it looks like it was. She was definitely looking very bad a few months ago, and she looks very good now because she's very smart. She's a Hollywood producer. She might not have had anything to do with The Mandalorian, but her name's on it, and she can go, yeah, it's mine. And she's come out and said the Lucasfilm Story Group has had something to do with The Mandalorian. They do have a connection to it somehow, unless she lied. Could be. Doesn't matter. She's still here. Pablo Hidalgo's still here.
Exclusive producer.
Yeah. And she might not have anything to do with it, but it saved her ass. And it's because it was popular and people liked it. So in a way, the fans saved her job. So what? If they keep going in this direction and it goes against everything she was building before, because it does in some ways. But they could revert back so easy because they can. That's Hollywood. Hollywood starts. Look at Marvel. Look at the MCU. Look at how far where it started as a bunch of guys who knew a lot about comics got together and threw out this option of let's build a shared universe. Marvel, the company, took this huge chance, took this giant fucking loan from I think it was Merrill Lynch or something, and to the point if one of those movies had flopped, Merrill Lynch would have owned Captain America. They would have lost the rights to all of them, every bit of rights. And they took that risk, and it worked. And it barely worked because one movie didn't do as well. The Hulk didn't do as well, but thankfully Thor, Captain America did. And they built this almost natural thing slowly out of, they wanted to make money, but there was some passion behind it. And then Disney came in. Then Kevin Feige systematically gets rid of everyone around him. They're all gone, and now it's Kevin Feige's. And Tom and I were discussing this last night. Look at the Blu-ray covers for the MCU now. They look they look fucking terrible. This uniformity, like nobody's got their mask on. It looks like it might as well just say plain rap superhero movie. That's what it looks like now. That's what it's gone to. That's where Hollywood had. I mean, it was the golden goose with the MCU, and they are on the precipice of fucking that up beyond belief, because Hollywood sucks and they don't know any better. Yeah, I'm looking more forward to the Snyder Cut than I am anything by Marvel.
You know who's the best part? They're connected to both. Favreau.
Yep.
You know how much freaking style oozed out of that Iron Man movie? That first movie was the one that made everybody go, oh, wait, this shit can work. And then they went to the next movie. Then they went to the next movie. Then they went to the next one because that first movie had so much style. So that's what he's bringing into Star Wars.
This guy directed Swingers, Elf.
But I just hope he does really well.
I like
Favreau. Yeah, that's his style. It makes everyone want to fucking drive an ice pick into their fucking
I take everything back. He sucks.
Who's trying to ignore that one from John?
Yeah. Which I'm on the unpopular side of. I hated his Jungle Book as well. I fucking hated that movie. Everybody seems to love it, but I hated it.
I didn't see it.
I did not like that one at all.
I already saw the animated version. I don't need to see another version. Oh,
yeah,
by the way,
I heard that.
I heard our good friend, and I respect him and I like him. I love him. Jeff from World Class Bullshitters. He was talking to you, Tom, and he said Disney will never remake the original trilogy. He said that again out of reverence. This is Disney. They will remake the original trilogy. I promise you, it will happen in our lifetime. It's a fucking lock.
The only way I would say
that driven audience.
The only way it wouldn't happen is if it's in the contract that they can't.
Or if George never dies.
If George never dies, maybe.
It's because I remember like Hitchcock had a deal where they had to wait so many years before they could do any of his.
Disney's not paying the authors that they are supposed to be paying right now. Like, they don't give a
contract. Fucking Lucas. Trust me, you guys, like I've said a million times, if they could release the unaltered versions of Star Wars, they would fucking do it because they know it would make them so much fucking money. So I believe that there's got to be some kind of stipulation there that George says, no, you cannot release the unspecial editions, and no, you cannot remake these until either such and such date or until the end of time, and that's probably in the contract.
I imagine that's right, but as far as remaking them, they own it. They can do whatever they want. They can, and they can go back on anything they want. And by the way,
after he dies,
George the Saint, those writers who aren't getting paid, George the Saint could fucking step in and get those writers paid. So he either fucking knew about it when he signed the contract, or he's not doing anything about it. And these are people who work for him, who are friends with him, who one of them wrote the fucking novel for Star Wars for him and let him put George's name on it when he had little to nothing to do with it. Alan Dean Foster, it's fucked up. That is fucked up, George.
Help sustain the franchise.
Well, somebody just said it in the chat too, but it's like they're getting Chris Evans to do like a Buzz Lightyear prequel while Tim Allen is still here, which is absolutely the next level bullshit.
That next level bullshit.
Trevor, right?
But yeah, I just there's no lot. Disney will do anything anything that can make money for them. They don't give a fuck about
once
anything.
The well runs dry again, and the thing is, it depends on if movies open, but like it would be better because they can remake it differently. They can do a TV series and start with the prequels, not just the original trilogy. They can start and they can call it another universe. That what? If they're going to introduce the world between worlds, do you think they'll just stop at one thing? You don't think they'll do an alternate universe?
I brought up too is it could be used as a weapon just as easily as it could to fix anything.
Yeah, or if they're bringing it in at all. I mean, that Ahsoka logo, I don't know, Ryan, do you think that's definitively the world between worlds, or could it just be a map of the galaxy or some design?
It could just be a map of the galaxy, or it could be just talk there's no doubt that the world between worlds is very important in Ahsoka's entire existence. The reason she's fucking alive. So I don't think they are going to use Ahsoka to retcon the sequel to go back and do this like so many people are thinking. In the same way that I don't think this newest rumor that's out there about, oh, guys, this is just the first step in a plan to fix Luke Skywalker. We're not going to retcon it, but we're going to actually, he was just acting the whole time. He was just acting like a piece of shit. He just pretended to do this to save Grogu. He just let Hosnian Prime blow up.
Did you hear that one, MauLer?
To save Grogu. He just let all this shit happen. I don't think that's going to happen.
I agree with you on the surface, Ryan, but I will say they have created nothing that has even been remotely close to the success of Baby Yoda, Grogu. That character can be the center point of the Star Wars universe moving forward.
It could be the Jesus, the baby Jesus of Star Wars.
Huh?
It can be the baby Jesus of Star Wars.
I like how Robert Rodriguez releases that clip today, and he called him Baby Yoda. He didn't even call him Grogu.
I'm never
Robert Rodriguez is a flying fuck about Star Wars, right, to be honest.
What's this?
What is
it's so tiny.
This is that treatment.
Yeah, I don't think this is real.
I think it is, and I've had enough people that I've talked to that I think it is.
I think JJ wrote it afterwards.
Video.
This released, a little bit after The Last Jedi, and recently, since Doomcock's video, it's been getting a lot more attention.
It's
been out there. When you look at like this script, it looks like it was written as a reaction to what happened in The Last Jedi. Like that's why I don't think it's real.
But there's things in here that are similar to Rise of Skywalker or have similar.
Here's the only question though, because they didn't have a full script for The Force Awakens. They were writing that as they went. Lawrence Kasdan was there.
I did remember reading the script.
They had one for 8, and so Ryan just tossed it.
This is just a treatment.
A treatment. Okay.
Yeah, and it's like not even 30 pages. And again, like Ryan's saying, there are things in here that make you question it, but I've run this by a few people, and there's little bits and notes and things in here that I do feel like add some weight to this being real.
I think it could have come from Jar Jar Abrams.
I think he leaked it a long time ago.
I think he leaked it afterwards to save his ass. I think
he's a politician.
Yeah, he is.
Well, yeah,
he's fucking good.
This is about years before Rise of Skywalker, and it, like Ryan said, it was right after right around the time Last Jedi came out that it was dropped online.
I'd like to read a J.J. Abrams treatment of a different film, and then read this and see if it.
That's the thing is, yeah, because
writing style.
And not only that, he refers I think twice to Mike. Well, Mike would be his assistant guy that does everything with him. I can't remember the guy's last name, but it's Gigliotter or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that's the guy who's been with him for years. So there's just little things in here and there that just kind of make me think it's real on top of all the people that I've run it by. And the thing
MauLer would be good to read a treatment from JJ on something else and read this and see how that
it's interesting.
Up.
Plus it has a ton of JJ isms in it. That's the other thing. So it's not a perfect story. Does
it have a smoke monster?
No. Well, maybe.
Are we interested in this just so that we know that JJ's story would have been better? Is that
kind of sort of, but at the same time, it just to me it supports the idea that they did somewhat have a plan and they let Ryan throw it out. You know,
what's her name? Daisy said that,
Daisy's
right?
This as well.
Yeah.
And then until they didn't have a plan.
Disney Star Wars sucks.
Yeah, Disney Star Wars sucks.
Merry Christmas.
They had a plan, but they threw it out.
Okay, so if they threw out the plan, they didn't have a fucking plan. they intended on making a plan is not a plan. That's semantics.
Different though. It's like if you're going on like a trip and you have a map, it's like, okay, we have the map to know how to get from point A to B. And then somebody just decides, no, we don't need that fucking map. And then 12 hours later, you're like, we really should have used that fucking map. You know, I wish you wouldn't have threw it out.
It all comes down to a different country, and it's upside down. What's going on?
It comes down to leadership, and Kathleen Kennedy is a terrible leader. So Rian Johnson, he directed multiple episodes of Breaking Bad. Why did he do such a good job? Because there was a vision, and he was not allowed to step outside of that vision. He was controlled by good leadership, making him excel at the things he's good at, and not letting him fuck everything up. This is bad leadership. This is Kathleen Kennedy, yes. and again, it doesn't. Last Jedi is not where it begins. So it's bad leadership from the beginning, and then even worse as it continues to progress. Just bad leadership. This is why she let Solo, which just so we're clear, Solo lost money, but Solo 90% done before this bitch decides, hey, let me check out, see what's going on with this project. It's the same person who hired someone for not a movie. We're talking about a trilogy. Okay, she hired somebody for a fucking trilogy, and then fired him after hiring him, and then announced Rian Johnson for a trilogy, and then never even talks about it again. Nope. This is the type of bad leadership that leads you to these decisions right here.
Yeah.
Don't forget D&D.
Dan and Dave.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I'm talking about. That's she hired them for a trilogy, not a movie, a trilogy, and then fired them.
She has fired more people than have actually gotten to make anything.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
And I think Gary and you and I had this conversation a long time ago. I think it was sometime after we got back from Vegas, because that's where we learned that Solo got to run for 88 days before they did anything. I think you and I both kind of think that maybe that had more to do with insurance, possibly. Like if they let it run for so long before they had to shit can them, then that's probably why they didn't lose so much money on Solo otherwise. Because they did. They shot that movie twice.
Yeah. So there's another. You know what? There's another cut out there of that movie.
Yeah. There's the Lord and Miller cut.
And they went on to win an Academy Award later in the year.
If there's a cut that doesn't have Lando butt fucking robots, I'd
If there's a cut where Solo can act in it, I'll be,
that too.
That ain't gonna happen.
Or they get the other kid playing him, Anthony Ingruber instead.
Yep.
There's a cut where they don't just take every random thing that was said about Han Solo through 3 fucking movies and jam it all into one fucking movie that it all happened in this week. I'd like to see that.
Who are you with? Nobody. I'm by myself. Solo then.
Oh.
Here's your blaster. That's how you beat Chewie. Here's the Millennium Falcon. Also, there's Lando. Have we covered all the bases? Yes. Okay, we're done.
Dice. Don't forget the dice.
Don't forget he started.
You see these dice? They're in there in the background for one scene. There you go.
Yeah. Or should I say funded the rebellion, the beginning of the rebellion.
I'm just glad we got Darth Maul standing up and igniting his lightsaber for no reason.
Yeah.
On a hologram.
70% of the audience having no idea why he's alive.
There's going to be a Mole TV show. Give it time.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be called Mole.
Yeah, that's coming.
There you go.
Well, that's Maul's well
to review it.
fleshed out in the Clone Wars. and Rebels. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, The Mandalorian could do the same for the Disney trilogy. Lady Gravemaster, you're not supposed to be giving super chats. For $50 says, Merry Christmas, Jensen chat. You all have been an incredible blessing, particularly this year. I'm so thankful that this community is here for all of us. Such an awesome panel of guys. I'm so proud of this community who have had more of an impact on lives than you'll ever know. Yeah. Thank you, Lady Gravemaster. You're not supposed to.
That is awesome.
Thank you, Lady Gravemaster.
Yeah.
She does more producing than Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
From one producer to another.
There you go. There you go.
You could have a Maul and Savage series. That could be interesting.
Well, who's going to carry?
I don't trust any of them. Is kind of where I'm going with it.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Like the idea that it's like, oh well, if they take a character that has character, we'll be all right. And it's like, technically speaking, I'd probably prefer it if they just had a brand new person called John, and it's just John, a Star Wars story, and it's like, let's check out this guy, I guess.
Maybe I'm the person who's waiting for the best of flowers, and I'm just going to get beaten up by my husband.
This is what when I first heard The Mandalorian, the pitch for The Mandalorian, I actually had some hope for it. I'm not a Filoni guy, obviously, you guys know that, but the idea of this character who's just kind of set and doing things in his own part of the galaxy. They told us it wouldn't have anything to do with the Force or Jedi. That was a lie, but that's fine. They wanted to protect everything that they had coming. But then instead of it just being a story about a guy, I was hoping maybe for like a Punisher in space kind of thing. Instead of that, a guy focused on just day-to-day doing bounties, slowly building towards understanding his heritage and all of this, and building his armor as he went along doing these missions. Instead, we get a guy who it turns out the galaxy's like this fucking big, and he met all of these other people that are way more important than him and make him look like a complete and total fool all along the way. So that I think is one of my biggest disappointments with The Mandalorian in general, is that it could have been something I felt that does stand on its own and something actually new. But it turns out it's just kind of a launching point for all these other series, and the actual story they have going on there, I don't see anything there.
Well, to echo that a little bit here, because I mean, I just want to help you out there. Let's balance this scale a little bit. We got he's battling the de facto leader of what remains of the Empire, who's wielding a darksaber in order to provide a Force-sensitive Yoda-like creature to Luke Skywalker. Why did any of this happen? Well, he got information on how to get there because of this all came together because of a stone that had the Force power calls Luke or whatever. How did he get there? It's like, oh well, you see, Ahsoka Tano told him where that is. You're like, wow, how did he find her? Well, Bo-Katan told him where she is. You're like, wow, how did he get to Bo-Katan? It's like, a fish told him.
Yep,
it was a video.
And you're like, wait, what fish? Why a fish? And it's like, well, an ant told someone about the fish.
Well, by the way, Boba Fett.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like you're I think you're dazzled by these things. Then you're like, how did this even start? It's like, well, his engineer was having a card game with an ant.
Like, sounds like start of a joke.
And even though Mandalorians are like in hiding, all these this ant knows and this frog fucking lady knows. Well, no, the frog lady knows the frog husband. Who knows?
When we were watching the first episode, and it was like, I need to find Mandalorians so that they can tell me where the Jedi are. We were already like, wait, when did we decide that was our goal? Like, when did we decide that Mandalorians are the ones that will know where a Jedi is? I don't remember. And someone in our comment section was like, well, because Mando trusts Mandalorians. I was like, what? What? I was like, I feel like we missed an episode where he was told by someone else, you need to find a Mandalorian to find a Jedi. For some reason, I don't know what the connection is. It's just like, we need to find Mandalorians. It's like, okay, that takes us to Cobb. That takes us to Boba's armor. Takes us to, the Bo-Katan and her bonus people. It's just so many. They fly, they throw grenades, they shoot their guns. It's really awesome. I'm sure you guys are still considering Stormtroopers to be pretty intimidating.
Stormtroopers just blow them away.
Because wasn't he looking for other Mandalorians at first this season because they all got attacked or whatever it was, and they were all spread out or some shit?
He was looking for them because they have info on where to find Jedi, but I don't know when that came in.
Yeah, but in the beginning, I thought it was because he was looking because they had Yeah, I don't know. I'm lost on that too. I was confused.
Gonna
The
watch it
armor
again.
told him that the Mandalorians had an ancient war with the Jedi, and then she told him that it was his responsibility to get Baby Yoda to his people, the Jedi. And the only connection you can make, I guess, is that he says he thinks since there was an ancient war, even though he's Mandalorian,
That's what I mean. That's it. No,
that other Mandalorians will know.
I figure that he's kind of a square one. It's like, I need to find a Jedi. How will I do this? It's like, I don't really know. You're gonna have to that could be interesting. A season
MauLer,
about that.
I thought he was being set up by his own people that he didn't know much about to find the Jedi so they can go reignite the war with them and bring back the old way. Because they even Bo-Katan mentions that he's part of a breakaway cult. So maybe they're fundamentalists and maybe they're screwing him over and using his attachment to find Jedi so they can go kill him. That's what I thought was going to happen. They didn't do it.
Star Trek Discovery now?
There's no crying.
I think
you
that's
like how-
really harsh to put Mandalorian and Star Trek Discovery together.
No, but that was basically for the first season.
The one-time stormtroopers have ace aim, literally not missing a shot out of like 20 enemies, is when they're fighting for the good guys.
Yep. That was such a cringe. That was so cringe.
Isn't this a fucking shot?
Oh yeah, we noticed.
Why
and that too, like that Bill Burr episode, I do think there was some great stuff with Bill Burr in there, but the idea that they even say he's like, we're invaders on their land, rebellion, New Republic doesn't matter or whatever, and then these freedom fighters, these rebellion fighters, are the ones trying to stop this random thing with 1,000 wheels from transporting this dynamite, and so they just shot down all the indigenous population that's trying to prevent this incursion. And I don't feel like that weight was ever felt for anyone. You're just supposed to be like, hey guys, remember the Empire are people too. Remember that scene at the end of The New Hope? Look at this. They're just people. That was kind of how it felt to me.
Now it's like blow up the rebels and also blow up all the stormtroopers. Fuck everything, burn it all.
Yeah, I would chat like, why didn't you highlight that they were like freedom fighters or whatever? I was like, we don't fucking know what they are. They never really talk about it. They're
pirates,
just,
I
you
think.
can infer.
At one point,
Yeah, we just call them pirates. Like, it's like they're kind of the pirates that destroy everything. I don't know. That whole sequence is hilarious, by the way. If you go through it piece by piece, we had Shadavisti on for it, and he was laughing his ass off at all of it. Not just the weapon jam, the lack of weapons, the fact that they have grenades and hover ships, and they've already plundered potentially these other vehicles and weapons from stormtroopers. They only use spears, literal sticks with stone spears on the end. That shit's hilarious.
They have fucking grenades.
Blow up the
They
thing.
have grenades and sticks. It's like, okay, there seems to be a discrepancy in your technology tree. I'm noticing.
And Boba Fett, why didn't he just get the armor from the Marshal?
Don't know.
He was there, right? He was on Tatooine.
You have to sort of people just throw out random stuff like, I don't know, he just didn't want to. He didn't want to risk it. He figured that if a Mandalorian has it, he's much better off bartering for it. Maybe reasons. It's like, you know, Boba Fett, the guy would really care to take care of Cobb, right? He's the kind of Boba Fett's the kind of guy who'd be like, hey, you know what? You have my armor. That's okay. I'll wait until a Mandalorian gets it. I guess that's Boba Fett. We all know him to be like that.
He's a jolly old soul.
I want to know why you heard his armor, why you heard the spurs that are a fucking part of his armor jingling.
Yeah, that's a good point.
When he fucking found May, when he found Fennec Shand in season 1, because that was all the tip to us.
I'm just calling her May. She's the same character.
We heard the sound, like the strange sound that does come from the tech of his armor, and we heard the spurs. They were setting up Boba Fett, but he didn't have his armor.
All I know is the
I can't believe he healed it with a fucking mechanical stomach.
By the way, my innards are fucking cyborg now.
That actress is 57 years old. Jeez.
Oh, she may be a cyborg.
He needs a mechanical stomach.
Yeah.
One thing, I brought this up to Ryan. We were talking about I think that there was some problems with Pedro and the helmet and everything, and I kind of feel like that the Bill Burr episode, I feel like that entire storyline was shoehorned in to make him happy, because if you take that away, that entire thing with him taking his helmet off, there's so much more emotional weight to when he takes his helmet off with Baby Yoda.
Bingo.
But the fact that he took it off, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Last fucking episode, you had it off, and you were like, it didn't have any emotional weight. So that adds to, was it Grace Randolph that broke that? That adds to Grace Randolph and her saying that there was a lot of problems with him wanting to show his face. Because when I saw that moment with him taking his helmet off at the end with Baby Yoda, and I'm going, this isn't land at all, because the last episode he literally had it off for most of the episode.
There is so much smoke to the Pedro problems, right? And I know it's a really popular thing to do, to shit on Grace Randolph right now, and I'm not the biggest Grace Randolph fan. But when you piece all of these things together, the fact that the same person who told Drunk 3PO and I that Luke Skywalker would be in this season,
I will vouch for that because I was listening to that live stream.
Drunk 3PO's got a tweet. He called this shit. Okay,
yeah, he did.
He called this shit a long time ago.
Yes, he did.
This guy told him straight up that this would happen. He also said that there were problems with Pedro on set. He doesn't know whether they got resolved or not, but there definitely were problems. When you look at the fact that although they were very specific that Book of Boba Fett, it's not Mandalorian season 3, guys. We're making that very specific. However, Mandalorian season 1, October. Mandalorian season 2, October. Book of Boba Fett, December of 2021.
So it's taking
no
slot.
slated release for Mandalorian season 3. Probably won't come out till at least early to mid 2022. Right? They prioritized Book of Boba Fett instead of everything else was happening.
No, they said Mandalorian season 3 were going to production after Book of Boba Fett.
Favreau did say that.
Exactly. Now there are some things you can say. Does he mean after they wrap production on Book of Boba Fett, or does he mean after Book of Boba Fett?
I think he means after Boba Fett comes out.
Exactly.
Oh.
So. And there's some wiggle room, but if you can't clearly see the smoke that is there about problems behind the scene that they were setting up, maybe that's why the Robert Rodriguez script, he was brought in at the last fucking second as a replacement. The script is 19 fucking pages, and he's now executive producing the Book of Boba Fett series all of a sudden. If you can't put these pieces together and realize that they were probably setting up for something, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Just continue to hate Grace Randolph because she didn't have every fucking specific right.
Well,
I believe with the reaction to episode 6, I can believe that's the way they were like, holy shit, Robert Rodriguez, make a whole season, do it. They love it.
Yeah.
I am getting screamed at by my family, so I've been needing to leave about 30 minutes.
Yeah, you do.
I told them, like, MauLer's here. I can't leave right now. But yeah, thanks for having me on. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas.
Merry
and again,
Christmas,
for all the
Jeremy.
people out there that are offended by Merry Christmas, Merry fucking Christmas, and fuck your feelings. But happy to be here with everybody. Great to be on with MauLer and all of you as well, except for Ryan, because fuck Ryan. And I'll talk to all of you later. Gary,
Merry Christmas.
have a good one, buddy.
You too, man. Merry Christmas. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Right.
All right. Thanks, brother. Thanks.
I also have to.
Yes. Yeah. If we hit the 2-hour mark, this is all that was promised. So, Quarter Black, thanks for coming on. Merry Christmas, brother.
Thanks for having me. It's a good Christmas time hanging out with everybody. MauLer, what's up again?
Hello there.
Stream with a couple times, but I love all your work.
Oh,
Good
very
Christmas gift to have you on a stream. So thanks everybody, and thanks Gary for having me on tonight. And
My pleasure.
I love all y'all, and I'll see y'all.
Love you, man.
Boy.
Take it easy. See you on that tiny little show you're on.
But Robert Rodriguez directing in episode 6 was great. He's a great director.
One of my.
Yeah, I like it.
I thought it was kind of a sloppy episode, but he is one of my favorite directors.
I thought the shots were good, the angles were good. He made Boba Fett look fucking.
If
boss.
he was rushed, I forgive him for it. Then if he came in last minute and was able to pull that off, yeah, that's probably why they pulled somebody in who knew what they were doing. If he only had a limited amount of time, 19 pages of script is 19 minutes, folks. Page of script is supposed to be a minute on screen.
When you're rushed like that, it's enough to make your protagonist forget what his jetpack is. I agree.
No, I could not get over that, MauLer. I could not get over that.
Nobody got over that. It was
No,
the most
he's
shit
like,
I've ever
he's got
seen.
the gun. He's like, his gun is still loaded, and he still had stuff in his wrist. It's like Boba Fett going, take off your shoes or take off your pants or something. I got
was
what the
the
fuck.
moment that the script writer was on the set, in the screen, holding the papers, and then Mando takes his jetpack off, and we're all like, why? And he goes, and then Mando takes his jetpack off.
Yep.
Okay.
So he can't get the dark troop so he can't get there faster than the dark troopers. And they could have thought of anything else. Damage his jetpack. Have it get shot somewhere or something. I don't know.
I know there's so many things you can do, but like stuff like that is when people, normies, if you will be like, okay, that's the plot being really just off. And it's like, why do you care about plot holes? It's like, I mean,
is the jetpack made out of Beskar though?
I mean,
he didn't use the jetpack the rest of the
it doesn't matter.
Oh, well, if we have to come up with a way for him to get that jetpack off, we can try harder than Boba says, you know what, I'm conceding he might kill me, so take off the jetpack. The Whistling Birds was funny to me because he was like, I could drop you in a second with this, and Boba's like, all right, take the jetpack off. What?
Listen, MauLer, it's one he might have just forgotten it. It's not like he has a remote on his arm that can literally control it at will. And even if he did forget it for a second, he could bring it back to him in a fucking heartbeat. Because we established that because we wanted to make a funny in the beginning of one of the episodes.
And again, not looking to poo-poo, I find this funny, okay? So talking about direction of the episode, do you remember the moment where Fennec is surrounded by stormtroopers and they just stop firing? Like they just don't shoot it. I think that when they filmed it, Robert Rodriguez was setting up all the stormtroopers ready, and then Mando jumps in and goes pew 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 with his thing, and then Boba jumps, and it's really really cool. In the editing though, they were like, oh man, they are looking at it for a while. Like can we get, hey Jim, can you record a line for the stormtroopers? Like what line? It's like, I want you to say, we don't want you, we want the kid.
Yep.
And then Jim's like, you sure that makes any sense? And he's like, You killed like 20 stormtroopers.
Other shit too, though, and they haven't.
Yeah, they threw mortars at her. I'm pretty sure they threw grenades, loads of blasters. The fucking machine gun that blasted away at her and somehow missed every single shot. And then they're like, now that we can kill you, we just want the kid.
She was able to push a 4-ton rock.
You pick an action
amazing
movie,
leg strength.
You pick all your favorite action movies.
Yeah, I know.
The scene where they shoot
I was just surprised that you can do better than this throwaway line wise. All you had to have them say was drop your weapon, you're coming with us, and that the implication is that they want to capture it for information or something, and that they decided to do that when they had the chance rather than just kill it. But instead they were like, hey look, we're not after you. It's like, why didn't you shoot it then? Like,
we've just been shooting at you for fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah. You just shot my lover, Stormtrooper 447.
They reveal that they have this ordnance from fucking orbit that can obliterate the Razor Crest. They didn't use that on anyone down there for some reason. They didn't use it on Slave One. It's like, you guys are really good at your job.
I don't know why they would have sent the stormtroopers down there when they could have just sent the dark troopers. Like they tried to have a line I think it was episode 8 when they're planning everything. They're like, oh, it takes a lot of power or something for the dark troopers. It's like,
if they could launch 4, they could have launched all of them. You saw how it works. They can just launch them all.
Exactly. So it doesn't make any sense to me why they didn't just send the dark troopers immediately, other than they didn't want Mando and everyone to die. So they couldn't, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and so to help maybe understand my perspective on this, right? I see it as they constructed this and they were like, I want to have a scene with Boba Fett's being awesome. And I'm sitting in that room and I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. How do we do it? It's like, okay, so we're gonna have this. And I'm like, these pieces, this is about as bad as you being in a bar with a friend and going, oh, that like fucking, I don't know, he just drops his jetpack. The stormtroopers just come down and Boba Fett shoots them all. And you're like, oh, that's kind of fun, but maybe if we iron it out, and it's like, no, that's what we got. It's like, and all I'm left with is Boba Fett being awesome, which, by the way, I really like Boba Fett being awesome, but I would well prefer it if they were to earn it through the narrative instead of, for some reason, all the stormtroopers just have one brain cell between them consistently.
Yeah, they've definitely got to give the stormtroopers some credibility back, because even in New Hope, they're pinned down in the corridor by the stormtroopers. It's Leia that has to shoot to get them out of the way. They are a legitimate threat as stormtroopers in numbers,
and they're being to not kill them, to let them go in A New Hope. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, they were supposed to make it seem like it was a challenge, all of this stuff, but they were supposed to leave to find the rebel base. That is, like, to me, where so many people think the stormtrooper can't shoot meme came from. And I was obviously played up by Taika Waititi to the T. Yeah. And now I don't understand how you're ever supposed to consider them a threat at this point.
That was so silly. That was a silly scene.
Yeah.
It's interesting to track because New Hope stormtroopers are really good in the opening scene, and then people say like, "Oh, they weren't very good on the Death Star." It's like, no, they were deliberately not shooting at our heroes. They don't want to kill them in that scene. It's very clear by the end of it that they're trying to let them feel as though they escaped. Right, so you covered there. Empire, really good in Hoth, not very good in Bespin, and I have no explanation for Bespin. Like they miss so many easy shots in Bespin. It's frustrating. Then you have Return of the Jedi, where the stormtroopers are defeated by Ewoks, and there's a discussion to be had there, but that's a mixed bag what we have in the OT. It's like, the stormtrooper, and you can explain that by having lots of different people, the different likelihoods of shooting. We're okay. Prequels happen. The clones are pretty good, like overall, and you can argue it's probably because they're against droids. They were allowed to be good writing wise. Like it's okay that they defeat the droids. It's just like, hey, we're still doing pretty good. Then, honestly, I kind of want to skip this point because you referenced it.
Pretty good.
I want to they're pretty good in Rogue One, actually, right? Yeah. But you just referenced it, and when I saw it with my friends, the scene Taika Waititi made, we were very, very upset, and a lot of people were like, "You serious? It's funny as hell." And I was like, "Okay, this is not good." Like if we have an in-universe confirmation that stormtroopers can't aim, and funny enough, you guys might know Jay. Jay was like, "What if the scene was the exact same, right? Then he shakes his gun, shoots, misses again. Then he looks his gun, he goes, oh, my sights are all fucked up." And then he changes them, and then he nails the shot. We'd be like, hey, that was recognizing the joke, but then also they can actually shoot. So it's like you double win. Instead, they're idiots. And Mando Season 2 has cranked it. It's insane. The stormtroopers have... Do you remember the moment where they could have killed Gina Carano and Fennec, and they just don't? They just look at them in Episode 8. They're just like, nah. And then they all get killed. It's on the bridge where the two Bo-Katan and her friend come up on the sides, if you guys remember.
Yeah. Well, the only people that get shot by stormtroopers if they have Beskar. That's essentially it. It is a blaster magnet, evidently.
Yeah. That would almost make more sense.
That's why when he shoots at Baby Yoda and he hasn't covered him, he still hits Mando because it draws the phaser blaster.
Yep.
And I think that this is what I'll say about season 2. I do think that one of my biggest issues with the first season was the fact that every episode felt so fucking different, like depending on who directed it. And like specifically from episode 7, from going there, we have the race to the Razor Crest, where you're come off essentially the most somber and serious moment of the entire thing, where Quill dies, right? He dies, he loses Baby Yoda, and like all is lost, it seems.
And who kills him, Ryan?
The stormtroopers that literally, if you're watching this, like the intention is to kind of fucking binge it. 30 seconds later, if you skip the opening sequence, you have a joke made about how stormtroopers can't fucking shoot.
The same ones, Ryan. The same ones.
Killed him.
Exactly. And to be fair to season 2, I think I didn't get that jarring effect from episode to episode like I did with season 1. Maybe it was because it was even more segmented. Like, hey, I need something on this planet. I go do this thing. You give me what I want. I leave this planet. Maybe that's why. But overall, it's just, I'm glad that people are enjoying it. I'm glad people are able to get enjoyment out of it. But I just have a lot of problems with it when I watch it.
Out of curiosity,
the thing is, though, there should be many more clones still alive anyway, because of the time period that we've been talking about between the end of the Clone Wars and going into A New Hope. It
would be twice as old. They'd be twice as old as they would, though.
Yeah, they'd be older for sure. 17 years older, whatever it's meant to be. 17 years, I think. But there should still been plenty of clones around in that era. And with the Clone Wars, and the way that they really respected the various, the 232s and the 501s, the way that they really respected those different divisions and gave Cody a lot of clout, gave Rex, a ton of clout. They were built up as credible. So when Order 66 happens, and I think the way that they did it in the Clone Wars was fucking brilliant. The way that they linked the third film and the Clone Wars together in a, because literally happening simultaneously. That the clone troopers were an insane threat, and for Rex and Ahsoka to get off the Star Destroyer. was a monumental feat. And then you had the unbelievable ending where they end up having to crash the Star Destroyer and her and Rex managing to get out. But then you have that beautiful scene where she's gone back. They've both gone back and they've dug out everyone, every soldier they could find, and they've buried them properly, even though they're trying to kill them, because they still remember them from before Order 66 kicks in and the chip goes off. And then you got Jesse at the front, Jesse's helmet at the front. It's just like, that's how you treat the story. That's how they can be treated with respect. So all you need to do is make these troopers. You can have your Mando scenes. You can have your Boba Fett scenes, cut through them, Fennec having a good go, Cara Dune and all that. But you got to make them a threat. You got to give them more credibility. You can't meme them. You got to make them struggle. And the only thing that I had a problem with in the final episode was it was so easy for them to take over the Star Destroyer. And this is the heir to the throne apparent of the budding empire. So even though he had a single Star Destroyer, and yes, it was on a skeleton crew comparative to what it should have been, he has all those Dark Troopers, and he had a massive squadron of Stormtroopers, and that was the time for Luke to really show his mettle. The hero should have been in distress, and Luke coming in, and the only distress they were in is they had cleared everything out, and it was just the Dark Troopers left. That's when we really should have seen the power of a Jedi, and the difference between a Jedi and somebody with phasers, somebody with bounty hunter training, and the level of difference between the two. So yeah, I think they gotta give those ground troopers some credibility. They're not the droids from the prequels.
Yeah. Well, what I think is interesting, by the way, about the Dark Troopers is that it's not, like they say, like, we've removed the human element, making them, like, that's the problem. It's like, first of all, First Order is all humans, so I don't know how that becomes that. Secondly, it's not really the fact that they're not human, it's their armor is amazing. Like, as well as, they can punch like a mag truck, apparently, but once you have really good armor, you're already in a pretty good position. Like, I just like the idea that it's like, you take Stormtrooper, look how bad he is. You take Dark Trooper, look how good he is, because he's not a human. It's like, I don't think that's the reason.
Yeah, you think it would have started with that, and then maybe gone to human later. I thought they were going to do something else.
All his Death Troopers vanished. He had a ton of Death Troopers at the end of the first season, and he had no Death Troopers.
Oh, yeah, I remember, yeah.
Yeah, mysteriously gone. But maybe they were wherever the Dark Troopers went for that 30 minutes in between where they got launched out and decided to use the rocket.
Like that's
throwing them back onto this side.
I know.
We're actually premiering. I think it's in 40 minutes though. Our reaction to episode 8. Jay is with us. When he sends them out the A-log, Jay is like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? They're just gonna surprise attack you now. Why would you do that?" And we're highlighting how Mando knows that they can fly. No recognition of this. Like, the whole crew are unaware. They're like, "No, they don't."
No, that's very consistent with Mandalorian. He's a very forgetful soul, that one.
Yeah.
Leaving the baby out all the time. It's written like a cartoon. It is. I mean, it's got cartoon logic, and we watch stuff differently that's live action that we watch cartoon. But if this was animated, it would probably just, I don't think about animated stuff that hard. And listen, the Clone Wars was a pretty tight show. Not perfect or anything, but you're just bringing that up as that was some good shit in the Clone Wars, and that's why it really helped the prequels. That's why the prequels are revered by a lot of people now, because of those Clone Wars, and they served a purpose well. I'm gonna read some super chats. How's everybody doing?
Up, Gary.
What was that? What? Listen,
make me throw up.
I don't like. Okay. I don't know. I have no passion when it comes to Star Wars, so I could recognize that stuff entertained me. But it's not like I'm a fan of a lot of things, so I obsess over Lord of the Rings, and I think about that shit all the time, and Marvel Comics and DC Comics. Star Wars is just the thing I watch and forget about when it's done now.
It's only a week going until Doctor Who.
Oh no.
I was playing with the fact of maybe I should make everybody on Friday Night Tights watch this episode, and they don't have to know anything about it.
Jay actually wrote me in. I was like, he was like, "Would you watch it?" I was like, yeah, I could watch it with you if you want.
Watch it. Yeah, watch it.
Go.
Drinker
One
did
thing
that.
I was going to say quick about so in Microcosm, the example of emotional payoff versus how it's built from season 1 now, not 2, 'cause you just reminded me. You know, like all that sequence in the finale of season 1 where Moff Gideon is literally willing to, in a sense, threaten Mando and his team by killing his own men, including Werner Herzog for some reason. He's like, they're like, oh, he's made a point. He's killed his. He's like, I want that baby. I'm going to do anything I can to get it. Do you guys remember when the dude with the flamethrower just comes in to burn Baby Yoda to death? Like,
yep, I remember.
And what it does, right, is it creates this moment in slow-mo where Baby Yoda just protects everyone there with the Force and blows the fire back. He explodes. Like, oh, it's so fucking cool. But it's like, what the hell? Why did that happen?
I thought it was more of a if I can't have him, nobody can have him moment.
I don't. How does that make any? Why?
I don't know. But that's the you know, because he said at the end of season 2, which kind of goes along the same as he said, I've got his blood. I've got what I needed from him.
Oh, but they need more, right?
Yeah, he didn't have that. He didn't have that when he was
more Dark Troopers.
Werner Herzog was so fucking good. I wish they would have kept him. God, he was great. Every scene, he just fucking chewed up scenery. It was so
really subverted your expectations when he got blown away, though, didn't it?
Like, yeah, it really did, Ryan. It really did. And that
wait, sorry, who are we talking about?
Werner Herzog.
Oh yeah, dude, he was awesome.
Yeah, he was great bad guy. So I'm gonna read. How's everybody doing? Because I'm on limited time tonight too, but I'm gonna read some super chats here.
I'm gonna have to jump out in about half an hour or just under. But
cool. And then after that, I got a couple of guests from my couple of members coming on that I'm gonna bail out. But let me Man of War 665 neighbor of the beast for $50 says hail and Merry Christmas to all my amigos. Orale, Man of War 665 neighbor of the beast. Thank you very much. We also have, let me get down here because we had a right here, $49.99 for Merlin, the OG wizard. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and happy Festivus. Best way to cap off a great day, enjoying Friday Night Tights. Best stocking stuffer possible. No pun intended, Jeremy. Yeah, well, it's just below average. I'm sorry. Just kidding. Great group, and thank you for keeping it real. Best to you and your families. Same to you, Merlin. Yeah. Are you still trapped in, what was it, Amber? I can't remember. I haven't seen Excalibur in a few years.
It's not Amber Heard.
Oh wait, that was the wrong one. There you go. You earned that. Yes, you earned it. Mikey, where's the trigger? Mikey Gussler for $50. Just give me the Snyder cut. Also, Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition is up there. Jeremy, not with Wonder Woman 1984. Anyway. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for all the entertainment this year. Here's to another year. Hail Zack Snyder. Get ready for March 2021. I'm excited. I fucking hope it's the greatest thing ever because it's a fan movement.
We'll get another Fandom Menace splintering, I'm sure.
Probably.
Heaven forbid.
The Ultimate Edition really does fill in a lot of the gaps.
It does. I was going to ask you guys, what do you guys think of the BVS Ultimate? I see Buffy the Vampire
Slayer. It fills in a lot of the holes, but at the same time, you cannot have Batman v Superman and the death of Superman in the same fucking script. It's stupid.
And Dark Knight Returns.
The whole Doomsday, not Doomsday, Doomzod Day was ridiculous. Stop
Zod's
it.
Day.
Zod's Day, yeah, because that's what it was. That was General Zod. It's not Doomsday, it's General Zod.
Here he is. Normal form.
Where was Wonder Woman when that was going down, by the way? But anyway.
Going down on Steve Trevor or Rogers, one of the Steves.
Steve Tyler.
Steve Tyler.
Steve Stevens. Yeah. Merry Christmas to everyone. Hail Nerdrotic and long live the Fandom Menace from Jason C. for $100. Jason C. My God. Crazy man. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's a very Fandom Menace Christmas. That's what I put on this title just to trigger a couple people out. Every time I put Fandom Menace on Twitter, there's like these two people who always pop in going, griftars, griftars, griftars. That's all. It's like, dude, okay. Yeah.
Oh man, can we fast forward when the next name comes? You know, like I'm bored of grifter already. People use it everywhere for everything. It's just like, come on, next one. What's the cool name?
Isn't it? We've gone from Nazi to grifter.
Yeah.
So,
that's a bit better. Yeah. I'd rather be a grifter than a Nazi, I guess. Yeah.
What about a grifting Nazi?
Oh no!
Oh my god!
A grazie.
A grazie.
What's funny is
Yes.
the most ones that cry grifter are the ones who bitch the most. That
Ryan, there's my Zod.
have them all the time.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
Nice.
I gotta get that Aquaman. That looks good. Yeah. Next time I go to the grocery store to the cashier, I'm just gonna go grifter. Fucking
Yeah.
making
How long
money.
do you work here at the pet shop? Yeah, grifter.
Grifter.
You could be giving away those cats for free.
Yep.
Do you like working for the supermarket? Well, it pays the bills. Oh, all right. So you're just doing it for the money.
Yep.
I like the idea that they throw this stream on. They're like, Grifter, you don't believe in the position you have. They're just like, wait, which one? And they go, that you're pro Mandalorian or anti Mandalorian. It's like, well, both of them exist right now. So which one are you talking about? Which one's the non-genuine one? Let me know. And it's like,
You all say the same things. We've had a discussion even tonight about different perspectives.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian, etc. So
we were talking about that this morning. As it's funny, I always sit there and we always get, it's just nothing but an echo chamber over there in the Fandom Menace channels. But yet we're arguing constantly about shit. Like I could get Ryan going right now if I wanted.
We always fucking argue. It doesn't matter whether it's Star Wars. Well, basically it's Star Wars or DC because Marvel isn't doing anything fucking relevant right now.
Ooh.
But yeah.
Well, I think it's been a fun conversation, to be honest with you, about the different perspectives.
I think it has been too. I think it's brilliant. That's why you let it
I was
go.
gonna say I'm much nicer here than I probably am in those minis. Don't go check them out if you're if you're very pro Mando. I fucking shred it with my my cast.
See,
it's almost worse
I
because
would cry, so I'm not going to.
Though I will say the build
really being mean.
was my favorite.
You're not really being mean though, and I think that's what hurts people more. You're just fucking laughing at how absurd some of it is, and that I think makes people more upset than if you were just like, I don't like this because this reason. No, you're laughing at the ridiculousness.
I was told I was faking the laughter with the boulder part. I was like, are you kidding me? That part was so fucking funny. The stormtroopers all running in a line away from the boulder. I was beside myself.
Hey, Charlize Theron did it.
Sorry?
Charlize Theron did it.
In what?
Oh fuck! Well, the School of Prometheus.
Theron. She says her name is pronounced Charlize Theron.
I like how most people remember that Prometheus is the first popularization of running in a straight line away from something heading towards you.
Yeah.
Everyone since is just copying Prometheus.
No, that's why I put
in about 2 weeks time. It's gonna be
Dude.
Well, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, when the boulder's coming down, Indiana Jones is running in a straight line.
Didn't he have to?
He had to. He was in a tunnel. He was in a tunnel. Oh my God! Stop it! Yeah, don't get me fucking. Don't
that movie, and then they were like, "We'll copy it. But we just won't put walls on either side."
Yeah, don't fucking compare it to the most perfect movie ever. Yeah, that's why I put Benny Hill music to that whole ending scene when they were taking on the stormtroopers, and it works so well. I mean, Benny Hill music works with everything, but.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of it right when I saw the boulder scene. I'm like, oh, this would be great with Benny Hill fucking music, and it worked.
That was pretty stupid.
Yep. Joe Bag of Donut. Oh, what was that? Go ahead. Ask.
She does leg day.
It was.
Her bionic abs get allowed.
Maybe it was. I forgot about the bionic abs.
So the stormtroopers, at least in season 1, a lot of the stormtroopers were actually like volunteers from 501st, like the fan group 501st. I don't know if that continued in season 2. If so, it may explain why the stormtroopers seem so retarded all of the time, and like there was no real choreography because they just have people who have fucking stormtrooper outfits, and they say, hey, we need all we can get, come on out here and just flail around.
There is kind of that in the realisticness of the situation, because they've lost, they've had 2 Death Stars that blew up, so they've probably lost some of the best that they have had. But at the same time, I agree with MauLer. Like, they did a pretty good job in the first movie depicting the stormtroopers as a formidable threat. You even got Obi-Wan going, only stormtroopers are that precise, and da-da-da-da-da.
Incredibly comedic.
When they come in the beginning of Empire, there's some badass stormtroopers there. They're just coming in, and because they kicked their ass, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, really, like you said, and then it's not till you get to Return of the Jedi when they get beat up by teddy bears. But yeah,
who was the commander in the AT-AT?
General Veers.
General Veers. He was fucking loving it. That boy. He was just like, let me just kill everything. He was getting well excited.
I think
Hero attack, General Veers. Oh, hey, cheers, Vader.
genuinely the simplest explanation for all this, I think, is that the bad guys are supposed to win in the opening of A New Hope. Therefore, as a bonus, we get stormtroopers are now intimidating. Woohoo! Then they were supposed to let the heroes go in the Death Star, so they don't have to look incompetent there. We're okay. So like, okay, good. We're still fine. Empire, they were supposed to beat them at Hoth, so now they look good as a byproduct. Yay! They're supposed to let the heroes escape. As a writing, they escape is my point in Bespin. They escape. So now they have to take a bit of a dive. They have to lose at Endor. They have to take a bit of a dive, and then it's like Mando. Both seasons they have to lose in each of these scenes, so they take a dive. Once you've taken a dive like 20 times, everyone's like, why are you even here?
Yeah,
what's the point?
I thought Fennec and I thought Sasha Banks or Mercedes Fernandez. I thought they were both there as cannon fodder for the final episode. I thought they were going to get killed. I thought that was definitely the only reason for Sasha Banks. She was absolutely going to get killed. She was.
Yep.
And then probably Fennec. That's why they brought her back, so she could sacrifice in the final episode and at least give some sort of loss on the hero side.
Even when Gideon tried to kill one of the, I can't remember if it was Bo-Katan or the other one.
Bo-Katan, yeah.
He fires 4 times and it all hits her armor. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but back to what you're saying, MauLer.
Hit her right in the boob armor, by the way. Hit her right in the boob armor.
There could even be an argument made for why they were kind of overtaken there, because I'm sure they weren't a full platoon or battalion or whatever you want to call it, to where they weren't supposed to be expecting the rebel attack on Endor.
There are arguments to make. So it's a surprise attack. They would never expect Ewoks to be able to do what they do. They use lots of guerrilla tactics. However, when you take very specific shots of specific scenes, like a stormtrooper going, "Oh no, ow, oh no," when a stick is hitting him, it's like, oh god, that's embarrassing.
And there is at least damage to the other side. There's burning fucking on the ground and shit, right? So they at least at some point in time are able to do some damage. So to me, I think that what we've seen so far, they're playing up the meme, and they just think it's okay. And I guess for the most part, everybody is okay with it.
I got criticized with that was it the final episode, second to last episode, wherever This Is the Way died, or not This Is the Way, I Have Spoken. The Ugnaught.
Quill.
And the two cycle troopers were, I know there were two comedians or something. They were fucking joking around before and after the Ugnaught dies, and I hated that scene. I liked the episode, but I got a bunch of shit. I'm like, the stormtroopers have consistently looked like fools the entire time. And it's stupid.
The episode they capture Mando and they don't remove any of his weapons or his helmet or his armor.
Nope. Just leave it there.
I was baffled when watching it. They were like, oh, when we go in, we'll get you a weapon or something. I was just like, why would he still have any of this? They're just gonna let him in with all of that on. Do you know how valuable Beskar is? You took time to establish this. The Empire is going to accept him in cuffs, but then also not remove his helmet. Really? They would take that in an instant. They'd be like, Bob, take this, put it in our chest. We're going to sell this on eBay. It's going to be great.
Hypnosis is a real thing. And if it's things have gotten so bad with Star Wars and people just want to like it, and that's fine. If they just want to choose to enjoy it, and there's going to be a time where people recognize, they go, okay, time will pass.
Cara Dune was bringing him in. She had a rebel tattoo on her face.
But they explained it.
Did they?
They've explained the Cara Dune tattoo. Yes, it's a teardrop for Alderaan.
Yeah.
But the Empire seeing that should be like, hey, what's that about?
Yeah, well, it is the rebel.
She was bringing him in, and it's just like that. You might want to do something about that. But it's like,
It's a birthmark.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that line was so fucking funny when he's like, "Oh, you said you were on Alderaan? Did you lose someone?" It's like,
what do you know? Shit, Sherlock.
No, my family survived. The ones who got off, that flying asteroid that was coming out, they were riding it. It was all good. They're cool.
In our reaction, and Metal Commander just goes, "Blew up a planet, dude." Why would you ask that question?
It should have been more like, I wouldn't say lost.
I would be like, if that fucking X-Wing pilot had said that, did you lose someone? I said, I don't know. Do you have trouble fitting your fucking cockpit? That's what I would have said to that fat X-Wing pilot. I obviously did that to set up her as the Marshal in the New Republic, Rangers of the New Republic thing, but that was just the dialogue sometimes in the show has me questioning. Like you said, it's cartoonish. That is what it is at times.
I mean, you could argue that her family wasn't necessarily on Alderaan.
But the thing is, as if Earth got blown up and I met you on Mars, I wouldn't be stupid enough to say like, "You're from Earth? Did you lose someone?" I'd be a little like, "Man, that I'm sorry to hear about Earth getting fucked. That sucks."
Then I would have gone, "It's okay. My family were on Jupiter."
It's okay. None of my immediate family.
Nobody I knew got killed, so I'm all right.
Shitty cousins. Just, yeah.
Someone in chat said MauLer's real fun at parties. You don't understand. Me and my friends love this. We love laughing at the Mandalorian or just writing that we think is funny bad. Like we have so much fun with this.
It's just like they have fun watching Batwoman.
Absolutely. I'm so looking forward to starting that back up.
You know, eventually,
I know Az is like, "Oh God, it's gonna be so bad." I'm just like, dude, we got so much fun.
That's part of this. Is like, everybody knows what. I mean, everybody knows what all of us do here. I don't think we've been coy about our message for the past year. So you watch MauLer, you like MauLer. Eventually, he will come for something you love. He will. He will, and so will I, and so will Az. I mean, it's just a because like, the woke garbage is the woke garbage, but then there's also garbage. And one could argue that Star Trek Discovery is more garbage than woke garbage. I would say it's one of the worst things out there. MauLer could get fucking just millions of clicks if you watch that show and tore it apart. Or just one single episode. That's what, Drinker did that. Drinker just like nabbed a Doctor Who episode on Az's suggestion, did Orphan 55, which is pretty fucking bad. And he did pretty well diving in and like just going, "What the fuck is this?" And yeah.
It's good. It's very good video.
Good stuff. But eventually we all come for something you love.
It was more. We had one where we had Mr. H watch, just start in on season 3 of Discovery, and that was one of our better videos. Got a lot of response too, because that was supposed to be like a reboot anyway at that point. So we're like, fuck it, we'll just let him watch it. He treated it like torture, like it was bad. But no,
yeah, and it's this season is worse than season 1 and 2.
I think I made a good comparison last night, Gary. I don't remember the question that was asked, but when I said basically Star Trek Discovery is like if we would have gotten Reylo in Rise of Skywalker.
Yep.
That's how bad.
Yep.
Star Trek Discovery is.
Oh, the last this week's episode is.
I know. I started it and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I didn't want to ruin my days. I was having so much fun. 5
minutes is what I got into it. 5 minutes.
So
I'm glad I watched it yesterday.
I'm gonna get. We're gonna do some super chats. My time is gonna be running out in a half an hour, and I gotta bring in some members. So, it's Jupiter for £5 says, "Hi, I'm wondering what's your favorite Christmas TV special. One of mine is the worst week of Christmas, even though I can't stand the regular worst week of my life." Is that a show? The worst week of Christmas? I haven't heard of that. My favorite Christmas specials, is it like British?
No. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. My favorite Christmas specials are like, I like the old Danny Kaye shit from when I was a kid. But I also, Voyage of the Damned from Doctor Who is my favorite Christmas special of anything. Such a great one.
I like
specials.
I like the fact that TBS has 24 hours straight of a Christmas story.
Yeah.
There you go.
The Only Fools and Horses with Del and Rodney as Batman and Robin was fucking hilarious.
Oh man, Only Fools and Horses! I remember that shit. That's going back.
You can see what the millennials have to say about that.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's not going to fly. Evil show.
I watched the first episode of Only Fools and Horses. I was disgusted by the sexism or racism that was inherent to the show.
That's funny.
The Star Wars.
The regular ones, I like the He-Man Christmas special when Skeletor gets feelings. He catches feelings. He's like, "I'm not nice."
No way. That was a thing?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No, I didn't watch He-Man. I'm straight.
Oh,
get gay, Gary. Get gay quick.
We're just old.
Right.
Get with it. No.
He-Man and the We Need to Sell Toys
Yes.
of the universe.
That was repurposed Conan, right? Wasn't it repurposed Conan?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was basically toned down for kids and added a little Star Wars into it.
Yeah.
But the Star Wars Holiday Special, I watched it when it aired, and I remember going to school, and everybody thought it was the greatest fucking thing ever. Nobody hated it at all. All the kids we were just like, oh my God, it was great. Couldn't stop talking about it.
Boba Fett's debut.
Yeah.
Boba
Fett. Yeah, man.
And he was
Boba Fett in his prime.
And they didn't even put a rest in peace Jeremy Bullock at the end.
That was
so yeah. The guy who originally played Boba Fett died like a few days before that episode aired.
Like the day before.
The day before.
The day before, so maybe it was a little too late. But you would have thought, look, if WWE can get it up on a graphic in a couple of hours, then surely Disney could have got it up on a graphic.
Gary and I pointed out they had plenty of time. Plenty of time they could have done something.
They sorry, for context, which episode was airing? Right after? Was it 8?
It was I believe it wasn't. It was
he died.
No, it was day before the final episode, the finale.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, Disney, much like HBO, they edited out the error, right? They left there was a guy in the background. They edited that on the streamable version, so surely they could edit in.
Yep,
absolutely.
It was within hours too, right?
Yep, they did it pretty quickly. Yep.
Gene's guy.
I could believe that they definitely have the power to do it on like a
Well, Game of Thrones HBO, they got rid of the stuff.
Dude, they should have owned it. They should have said that Daenerys is a time traveler and that she had the cup from the future and that she knew that she had to burn everybody to make sure that we get the best future. Somehow it works that way.
A better explanation may have been she didn't get her coffee that morning. That's why she went batshit fucking crazy.
Caffeine withdrawal.
He just pictures this like medieval smith dude, like, I've crafted a new material for cups. Please, it's so reusable.
I cannot start my day unless I get my Frappuccino latte mocha.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, McQueen.
Fuck it, I'm going to burn the tree down. Fuck them all.
Merry Christmas to all the chat panel and to our host. This is the first one without Dad. You all have made the last few weeks more bearable with this little show. Merry Christmas, Gary, Melissa, and the boys. Thanks, Darkstar76. I knew your dad was not feeling well. I did not know he passed, so I'm sorry about that, buddy. And we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. Thanks for the $10. I appreciate it. We've got our members rolling in the background here. We'll get you guys in a sec. Joe Bag of Donuts. Did I read this one? I think oh, okay. Yeah, Joe Bag of Donuts for $20. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Before that was not another dime with his thumbs up for $1.99. He always does that. Thank you, my friend. Joe Bag of Donuts for $20. Merry Christmas, Friday Night Tights. You have been a light in the darkness of this past year. Your collective passion runs deep, reminding us that old stories are cherished for a reason. The old that is strong will never wither. Way to break out some fucking Lord of the Rings right there, my friend. That's like going straight to my heart. Listen, that's another message that Luke Skywalker returned sent. Yeah, okay, sure. Fan service, blah, 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 whatever. People still want their heroes. They still want their heroes defeating evil. Then none of this nuanced fucking, postmodern bullshit that's what it was just a complete rejection of that type of storytelling too. Emotional release. Some of the best timing in the world, and whatever criticisms we have, fucking people loved it, and that's not a bad thing. That's why we're fucking nerds. That's why we got back when nerds got shit. That's why we got shit, because we get moved by stuff like that, and people like Jocks going, fucking your laser sword, you got moved by that. Freaking, I won't even say what they call this, but you can guess.
You're not allowed to say it.
Not allowed to say it anymore. No, and I got called that all the time.
Tomorrow, MauLer, I fancy some faggots. What about you?
Yeah,
dude, tasty stuff. I thought you were talking about incel simp and stuff. I don't want to ban anyone off Twitch. That would be awful.
No. The Father will forgive us too. We actually have a priest backstage here, folks. So We got it.
I'm not British. I don't have the F word pass.
Yeah, I don't either.
You have the bundle of
better
six
start
pass.
making some
So you're
beautiful
very good.
pork balls, mate. That's they're cooked in a nice gravy. Beautiful faggots. Mwah, beautiful. Mr. Brains, best make of faggots you can eat.
Oh man, Natako for $20.
Fag off you, please.
I can't.
Can I bum a fag off you, MauLer?
Oh, absolutely. Can I interpret that statement in many different ways? Because I think it's.
Oh, I've been gasping for a fag all day. So,
Did you used to smoke, Az? Did you
Yes.
ever smoke? Yeah, I used to smoke a lot. I did.
when I was 30.
Nataku, I think it's, I don't know, what's the Roman numeral XXVI? Is that
XXBI 26.
26? Okay. So he says, I wish I could jump on the live stream just to talk to you all for the sole purpose of upgrading your passes. You ain't wigas and I can't say the next one. Congratulations, los hemos dado gracias por todo que ustedes hacen seguela verde para el fandom. I kind of know what I said a little bit there, but
I can't find the subtitle button on here.
there you go. I did not say, like the chicken is in the bathroom,
All the fretting over, all these words being said on your stream. Then you just read something in Spanish. Could have been fucking anything, Gary.
It could have been. It did. I just rattled it off.
Supremacy.
I know. I know, right? Big fat nerd for 10 pounds says, Hail Friday Night Tides, the awesome mods. Thank you to Modrotics tonight. You guys are great. Fucking Christmas duty. And all the chat. Merry Christmas, everyone. Here's hoping 2021 brings the fandom joy. A little bit. That would be nice to give fans what they want once in a while. It's not a bad thing. Merry Christmas, Friday Night Tights from Stargate 404. Hail, my friend. All right, we're gonna we are at the 5 o'clock mark here, and I know that our dinner is cooking. So, you guys doing okay? Everybody here doing okay? If you guys need to bail,
I'll probably take that opportunity to jump out. It's been a fun one, lads. Christmas, Merry Christmas, of course. It's past that for me now. 1 a.m.
Boxing Day.
Back to normal days, not cool days. Can't wait for Halloween and Christmas once again.
Yeah. I know it was hard for me. You made me pick between the holidays, and I had to pick Halloween because of my wedding. But I love Christmas too. I really do.
I love them both. I think they're awesome. I want more. We need to make a few more, themed just holiday times where we all just get together, hang out, exchange gifts and spooks, whatever it is. It's always great.
Well, that's January the 21st, is it?
I don't know what that is.
That Woman season 2.
Oh, dude, hell yeah!
Yes.
Like I said, we'll definitely figure that out the closer we get to it. My next thing is watching Wonder Woman. I think.
Jeez, good luck.
Good luck.
Time.
Good luck with that. MauLer, thanks for coming on. It was great talking to you last night. Thanks for coming on today. If you haven't subscribed to MauLer, do it now. He will entertain you quite a bit.
Merry Christmas, dude.
I will try. And see you guys in the future, wherever it may be. Thanks for having me on, and Merry Christmas.
Give my best to the fat crew.
See you, dudes.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
And then I actually need to take off too, Gary. Yep. 3 hours was kind of my limit. But thanks for having me on. Wonderful Christmas for everybody. It's been a shitty 2020 for a lot of people, but I think everybody enjoys it. Like some people are like, oh, don't stream on Christmas, don't make videos on Christmas. There's a lot of people that are still looking to do their thing. There's a lot of people who aren't able to be with whoever they want to be with right now because of whatever reason. So I'm happy we're able to entertain everybody, and even if we're shitting on something they love, bring some enjoyment to their life on Christmas. Merry Christmas to Tom and to Az and to all of you in the chat and to you, Gary. I'll talk to you guys later.
Merry Christmas to you, Ryan. I appreciate you being here. And sorry, my cup of coffee's coming. You come on in. Ryan, take care of yourself, man.
Have a good one, guys.
Take care, Ryan. Have a great Christmas, dude.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks for bringing Mrs. Nerdrotic brought in my coffee. She's a peach, that one. She is just the best wife ever.
Merry Christmas.
They say Merry Christmas. It's so nice. She was so much better than the first wife. I can't tell
I'm
you.
good for a bit because, like,
That's the right answer, Gary.
I'm good in the basement for a few hours here. My mom's basement, so.
Oh my God, incel.
You are a basement dweller, though, Tom.
But your basement's cool. You got Pac-Man and freaking that Turtles game I need to get.
All by myself and pay my own rent for.
There you go. So we have some member. Well, these are what we have is content makers. We have members. We have friends. This is Father Christopher Miller, the nerd father, and Pablo. What's up? How you doing?
Hey, everyone.
Love your hair, Pablo.
Friday Night Tights.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was dying a few years ago, and I had to shave my head almost every single week because there was an operation to be done if something went wrong. So when that finished, I said, well, I'll just let it grow. And it's 3 years now, so
it looks great.
I envy you.
Yeah, we all do. And the nerd father who joins me on my member streams all the time and really is the only reason we're not going directly to hell. How are you, my friend? This is your busy time of year, right? So how's it going?
Well, I'm relaxing. I had 3 masses last night and 1 this morning, but this is the busy time of the year. I can't believe I'm on Friday Night Tights.
You're on Friday Night Tights, buddy.
I've been watching this for what? How long have you been doing this? 3 years?
Friday Night Tights I've been doing almost 4 years now.
Because I think I've been following ever since you started doing it. So it's a thrill to be on here. Although I think Jeremy and Ryan left because they knew I was coming on.
They did. They got right out of there. They're like, no way.
They do that shit to me all the time.
Yeah, they do. You can say shit, Father. Just don't take the Lord's name in vain. That's what he gets mad. So
I know.
Yeah, but I'll probably do it accidentally.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gee.
The thing is, as I say, profanity. If the profanity bothered me, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, this would be the worst place to be. Honestly,
I
here.
never swear, so I don't know.
Well, that's great because as a foreigner, the first thing I learned was to pretty much curse.
Oh, that's good.
I shouldn't admit this, but I remember when I was a kid, when I was in high school, CCD, the catechism class, we had a German foreign exchange student. We tried getting her to swear in German.
Oh.
To teach us the different swear words in German.
I used to know what those were.
That's
My
nice.
grandma used to yell at.
I know one. I won't say it though.
You are such a bad boy.
Gary just shares the link.
I know. I just put the link to everywhere. Everybody can see it now if you were quick about it. But I had to get Jake D in here. Well, my producer's gone, so this is a self-produced episode here. Here's Jake. This is a longtime friend here. What's up, Jake?
Hey.
What's up, brother?
Hail Friday Night Tights and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I just want to give a quick shout out to the mods, Eric K and the guys. I mean, they're always doing yeoman's work out there in the chat, and thank goodness that they are because they keep the rest of us in line.
I think the only time when I haven't seen Eric K on the chat is when you all went to Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good time. We
Without
did
me.
steal him from you for that trip. It was good.
So speaking of Vegas, I already got coverage lined up for next year's Star Trek convention.
If it happens,
So
we're going.
I'm planning on being there as long as everybody's going to be there.
If I think it might happen.
I know.
It depends.
It's still early.
Yeah.
It's still early.
Get me in, Father.
65 of COVID by then, so.
Well, as if you make it, we'll be sure to buy you a scotch when you come over, brother.
Well, maybe this year we can get Az out this year.
White America, have a scotch.
Yeah.
The incentive is real.
Well, I think Az we can bring you out there and we could do a signing of our book. Because it'll be right around the time it's coming out. So
can I pre-order a copy of Santa's Ex-Husband yet?
We're gonna. You know what? I was trying to rush it out to have it ready to go by this week, and there's no way I could do that. I do not understand Indiegogo, and I need to talk to some people. So we're gonna take our time, and probably next month it'll be ready to purchase.
Gary's like, I'm gonna get this. I'm like, Gary.
Yeah, he told me to calm down.
Calm. We'll deal with it after Christmas. Enjoy your time with your family.
Yeah, because I was like up late, like not. Yeah, I was doing my shit, doing my thing.
Santa can't wait to get a divorce.
We're okay.
Yes. No second divorce for me. One is enough, man.
I've already had my two, and I'm trying very hard not to have a third.
Two, Jake D, player. Spend time with families. I'm telling Dr. Fauci, Merry Christmas all. M Tax Shark for $5. I saw people were wishing him happy birthday a couple days ago on Twitter. I wanted to wish him a lot of other things, not happy birthday.
Yeah. What can you say? So now, one thing I want to point out about our good friend Pablo here, who's with us, Gary, is he coined the term that I like to use constantly, which is the Disney tragedy. It's not a sequel trilogy. It's the Disney tragedy.
That's good.
And
I like that.
And so we bring that up on my show on Sunday evenings. The sequel trilogy is just a banned term.
I mean, it's three. It's a mess. It's a tragedy what happened to the fandom. But
that's right.
But man,
let's say they somehow stick the landing on The Force Awakens to do what they did on The Last Jedi, to fully destroy not only the fandom but their income source, and that's what they don't get. They lost their income source. If the other day I was taking a look at everything I have spent on Star Wars DVDs, Blu-rays, figures, I'm up to 10 grand on Star Wars, and I'm from Ecuador. Our minimum wage right now is $400. So just think about how much passion you need to have to spend that amount on anything. Yep. And they just obliterated that income source just for the loans.
You don't fuck with the money. And that's what they did. And they paid the price as they were focusing on all the successes. And I said it in all my videos, but as time went on, you know what they hyper focused on? All the money they lost afterwards. That's why we got a Mandalorian. The fact that we spoke up and they lost money, that's why we got a Mandalorian. Is it perfect? No, and Tom, you said it last night. It's the closest we'll ever get to a Disney apology to the fandom. It's not enough for me personally, but it's enough for some people, and that's fine.
I mean, I'm still left. I'm really torn on how to react to that Luke moment. There's a part of me that sees it come in, and you've got it's the OP Luke, Jedi Master Luke fucking Skywalker that we've always wanted to see. It's everything that we wanted to see when Disney launched those movies, right? And of course, it's everything we didn't get. And in the chat when we were talking about that, I did a couple of streams on the topic, and it had grown men older than me who'd known Star Wars their whole life talking to me about how they wept when they saw that scene. And then there's the flip side of me that's like, but Grogu's dead, right? Because he's at Luke's Jedi Academy. He's dead. And
there's an idea I had for a bit. There's 3 properties that have done something, not everything possible to regain some trust, but a little something. If you see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, they are deconstructing the hero, but in the end, the minority character is the one that gives hope on the hero and the nuclear family to Peter Parker and set him straight to the path of being Peter Parker. He was a deconstruct Peter Parker. They constructed him back through Miles Morales. and that's kind of good. It's a shit show, but it's a kind of good shit show.
All right. I think with the
your 2-year-old characters, well, I know he's a little bit older than that. Setting right the 60-year-old characters. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, but they had already fully buried Spider-Man. If you have read One More Day.
Oh,
I read it.
That was the end of Peter Parker.
Yep.
That was the moment when I decided to just fully stop supporting comic books as a medium.
What did I tell you, folks?
I got a comic here, a comic there. It's not something you can get in my country, but I managed to get that in my country because I loved it. Then it went straight to shit. So what can you do?
It actually got worse because Dan Slott wrote for another few years and went to shit. No, they've done this systematically to all of our favorite characters, and it's all to try to bring in new fans. It's just chasing the dragon of new fans when it's really easy to bring in new fans, write good stories, write good characters. And
there's an easier way. You have older fans. Older fans will always get you.
Yes, until you alienate those older fans, and then you no longer have them shepherding in the new fans, and that's why you need the hardcore fans.
What they did.
Well, this is why the Kathleen Kennedy thing with Star Wars was so stupid, because it's the older fan that brings in the sons, that brings in the daughters.
Yep. And that's what Cecil and I were talking about the other day on the show.
Literally like a hereditary thing.
That's exactly what we were talking about, is how and that basically Star Wars and all these other franchises are like family heirlooms. And it would be like taking that family heirloom that your dad has passed down, or your grandfather has passed down to your father, who's passed down to you, but yet you've decided now to just change the hell out of it and destroy it before you give it to the next generation. That's what they're doing. That's the equivalent of what they're doing here.
Yeah, it's sad to me because I was in the process of passing Star Wars down to both of my daughters. So they talk about all this, the Force is female, they want female fans, what have you. I had two of them. They're 12 and they're 10 years old. And they loved Star Wars, right? And, took them with me to The Force Awakens, even though the younger one was barely old enough to understand what she was watching, right? But she's still 5 years old, and it's Star Wars. And she'd seen Luke, and she'd seen Han, and she'd seen Leia. And we were all super hyped going into that movie. And we got wrapped in the hypnosis. I'm not going to lie. Of course we did, right? It was Star Wars on the big screen. And seeing when Last Jedi drops, my older one at the time was 7, and she was crushed seeing what happened to Luke Skywalker. My 7-year-old daughter, who is a nut about Star Wars, even she couldn't believe what they'd done to Luke Skywalker. And that's just how you destroy it, right?
Well, yeah, and it went against all the crap they did to Luke. Remember before this, they were saying, well, this is a kid's story. It's a kid's story. How's a freaking 7-year-old going to process what happened to Luke in Last Jedi? How's an 8-year-old going to process it? And that's the one thing, Star Wars wasn't a kid's movie. It was a movie that kids could watch. But no, I mean, like, as I watched it as a kid, and I was in the theater, and I didn't understand everything I saw. I was 7. It was when Empire came out, everything started clicking with me. But no, there's no way a kid can process that. That just shows that Kathleen Kennedy just didn't pay attention. I think as long as she got her agenda in, she looked at the one draft of the script from Rian Johnson, went, yeah. I'm in charge of Star Wars now. It's just all gonna it's like printing money to them. That's what it was. It's like this franchise is like printing money, and they got that response from the first movie, and that fan response from the first movie sealed Luke's fate. So that's why you have to be careful. I mean, it's great that you're enthusiastic, but we can be our own worst enemies sometimes by loving something a little too much and not having a critical enough eye. I'm guilty of this too. I helped bring in One More Day. and Dan Slott with by selling those books and pushing Straczynski and stuff. It's partially my fault. So I won't make that mistake again. There's a point where we got to go enough. We sealed Luke's face with the popularity of The Force Awakens, and people were totally okay with him not being in the fucking movie at all, and not saying a word.
To me, though, you're saying having faith is sealing their fate. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with having faith.
There's nothing wrong with having faith, but sometimes there's consequences. That's all you have to know. I'm not saying I'm not saying black pill and don't enjoy things. But on the contrary, keep trying things, give it faith, but just keep in mind, like, you know, when we get mad, sometimes I have to look at my responsibility on things too. Now, they fucking fucked the entire fandom over. Excuse me, Father. They lied. They gave the insinuation that they were going to put those three together. So no fan could be blamed for that. The Disney fucking lied. And then, you know, people were happy because they still thought Luke would come in. Luke would come in the final movie, or in the second movie. What?
Tom.
Say it again, it'll be 3.
3. I can say fuck. I can say fuck all day in front of the Father. I can't say the Lord's name in vain. I can't take the Lord's name in vain.
I hope my authorities don't see this.
Well, dude, Father, I was brought up on the streets. I'm a crass guy.
You know, the thing I was going to say is, when I left The Last Jedi, I felt numb because I really couldn't comprehend what I just saw. I mean, it just, you know, this is before I became aware of the fandom menace, and it just didn't feel right. And I have to admit, when I saw The Mandalorian, I binged the last season last weekend. I'll admit, I said, oh, hell yeah, when I saw Luke on there. And I understand. I mean, it's not perfect, but, you know, it felt like what Star Wars should be. What I saw at The Last Jedi, and I I paid $5, so I didn't spend a lot of money to see the Rise of Skywalker. That was just crap.
I wouldn't even watch it for free.
Well, you know, to Az's point about,
I was taken to the movie for free, and I regret going.
I want my money back. No,
I mean, it's 2.5 hours I'll never get back in my life.
I saw it on a flight and walked out, but
don't worry, we talked about Wonder Woman tonight.
What Disney can do is use that passion against the fandom by completely misinterpreting it. And that, like, hey, that when Vader came back at the end of Rogue One, there was the same response. People went nuts. People love that. People were like, "Yes, that's what we want. We want," and they didn't do anything with it.
They didn't care.
They didn't care.
I think there's an issue inside of all these big companies. They don't know the working man point of view.
Nope.
They think anything is a money printer. But to print money, you will need the ink and you will need the paper. So you have the money printer. But what are you doing with that? Are you wasting energy just getting that thing plugged? And what is it doing?
Right now, they're building up a bunch of streaming services. They're padding everything. These things are going to cost more and more money. I don't know if anybody's noticed. Inflation has fucking gone nuts. Have you guys gone out to eat lately and like looked at your freaking food bill? Like I took a trip. I took a very rare trip to Carl's Jr. to go get a freaking double Western bacon cheeseburger. Right,
I'm eating it.
Like fries and soda was $30 for one person. $30 effing dollars.
And it's only going to get worse, Gary, with what's going on now. You know it, right?
And you're looking.
They've been subsidizing. The government's been paying 50% of food restaurant bill.
Yeah.
You are lucky because your currency is your own. You own the dollar. In Ecuador, we are dollarized. That means we use the dollar as our main currency, but we have no control. So if
we don't own the dollar either, the Fed does. Yeah. It's a private company.
But if the United States start and they have done this, they started printing money, literally printing money. That means my country is getting also a lot of inflation, not only because the shit is going on here, also because what's going on the United States. And a lot of people have told me, why do you care who's president on the United States here in my country? Well, because that man will control what happens with my money.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a reason to be connected. And, Gary, I've seen that too. I mean, I'm coming to you from the mobile Jake D studio this evening because I'm down in Houston. We're visiting my girlfriend's family for Christmas Day. Had a good time saying hello and everything, but
wonderful.
We've seen that too, right? Just going out to eat while we're down here out of town. It's a lot more expensive than it was even 6 months ago.
Yeah, no, I could not believe that when I saw that. I'm like, well, I mean, this is why it's a rare trip, and I'm not going back. It wasn't worth $30 damn. I went to a place. There was a place called The Counter. That was it's a LA restaurant. That's the best burger I've ever had, and I paid $30 for it. But it was worth it. It was a gourmet, like amazing freaking burger. It was gaudy, and I wanted to pay $30 for something, because it was stupid to pay $30 for something like that. But it was worth it. And now I just paid $30 for a Western bacon cheeseburger with like bacon that was like freaking hours old. Wasn't even a good Western bacon cheeseburger. It was just, oh my God. I was like, I'm never doing that again. Yeah, we want to plug a book. I want to plug this book because it's going to really spurg somebody out. There's a guy, I don't know. Perry Chan put up a nice tweet, with one of his clips, and I retweeted it. And then some guy comes in and talks about how we're all grifters, and we're all grifters because of the Fandom Menace book. Stephen
So
wrote
a
a
real
book.
grifter told you that you're a grifter.
A grifter told me that I'm a grifter, and I'm like, well, he knows what a grifter is. But yes,
Yeah.
I do believe the author Stephen Walton wants to make money on the book that he wrote, and he is chronicling the Fandom Menace. You don't have to buy it; it's okay. But I'm going to pull up the link here. I will be writing a chapter for this book.
In
As a
the
matter
words of that German guy, how dare you?
that German. Right? Oh, and Steve, I am aware that I have a week to get that chapter into you, by the way. So, guys, vamp for me for a second while I pull this up. The Fandom.
All right.
I shared on Twitter this image of Greta Thunberg if Netflix did the movie adaptation, and it's just a black girl.
I've seen that. What do you think we get first, though? Gary's chapter for the Fandom Menace Part 2 or the Picard review?
Oh, that's going to be a tough one. I've got a week, right? I've got a little over. No, I've got less than a week.
Gary, stop trying to do that review.
No, I'm going to do it. No, it's Moby Dick. You don't understand. I'm like Captain A. I'm like, this is also taken from the plot of First Contact, right? Fucking I'm like Moby Dick at this point, I'm Captain Ahab, and I'm like, fucking, no, I'm going to take this.
Get his whale.
I'm going to get
But
my
the whale is a turd.
A blue-head whale.
The whale is a turd.
A white turd.
It's a giant white bleached out turd that's been sitting on the
Blue-haired
sidewalk.
white
Blow up the ships on Luke. Blow up the ships.
I'm not sure polishing it more is really going to make it smell better, Gary, at this point, right?
No, but you will get it on your
Makes
clothes.
it smell worse. Yeah, exactly, like Pablo's.
I
You ever deal with scratch and sniff? Same difference.
There is the link to the author Stephen Walton's book, The Grifter, Stephen Walton, who wanting to make some money. And I'm going to write a chapter, and you know what? I'm not even charging him. I'm going to just do it because I want Stephen to make money as a grifter and a writer, a grifter. We can call him a grifter or a shyster, whatever you want to call him. I like him though. I call him a friend. So,
I mean, he's also asked you to write about something you're passionate about and to give your thoughts about. You're doing the Doctor Who chapter, right?
I am doing the Doctor Who chapter.
Yeah.
What are we looking at, Eric?
That was the book to author Stephen Walton.
No, I'm looking at your screen, dude. What are we looking at?
Probably the
He was fapping, so he covered the camera.
He did.
Have you transcended this mortal plane, Eric? Because that's what that was.
Yeah, it looked like
We
that's
have
better.
my father here. I think.
Okay, so these, by the way, again, these are channel members, friends. They're also content creators. Some of those people who took my horrible advice to, like, if you have a voice and you want to say something, go ahead and get on YouTube and do it because it's a fun hobby.
I literally did that.
And I'm glad you guys did, because I was one of those people too, sitting around in the chats, modding for people. I was kind of a shitty mod, to be honest with you. Yeah. I would just
probably the worst mod we've ever had.
Yeah, dude. I would never that wasn't that bad. He just told Tom to die. That's all. I mean, it's not like he's really gonna die.
Could have been worse. It's not like he was talking about Brie Larson.
Yeah, exactly. I was a terrible mod.
No, I'm just kidding. A lot of people we give them that are on in the channels, we just give them honorary wrenches just in case you want to share links and stuff.
Yep.
Anyway, I was only joking.
Oh, most of my mods are other channels.
Gina Carano is Wonder Woman. What do you think?
Hell yeah,
not a bad idea.
People wanted that from the start.
Could work.
People wanted that from the start.
Princess. Sorry.
No.
Shared the picture.
Yeah, no, people were absolutely calling for her to be Wonder Woman when they were talking about the movie years ago. As a matter of fact, my old co-host Dennis wouldn't shut up. Oh my God, yes. Oh, I forgot to do this, by the way.
That's exactly why I say
cook it and fuck.
By the way, I'm wishing her Merry Christmas right now. I
have Merry Christmas, Gina.
Do you remember Lucy Lawless?
Oh, of course. How do you not remember Lucy Lawless?
I'm gonna
Father, avert your
right
eyes
now. I'm just gonna put Merry Christmas, Gina Carano.
All I can say,
she's better Captain Marvel.
Sorry, it's my Catholic guilt.
There, I did.
I got him to laugh. Look at that.
Oh no, Mark the Cyborg. Sorry, what were you saying there, Pablo?
I have been expelled from catechism 2 times.
Why?
One for asking if monkeys have souls since the evolution took place, and the other one, I was 12 and I already knew a lot of the original meaning of words, so I started explaining the etymology of every single word to the nun. And
yeah,
she
that'll
kicked
get you in
them
trouble.
out.
Yeah, you anti-authority guy.
Did you ever hear the story about how I got kicked out of Sunday school?
No, I don't think Father wants to hear this right now. And Az just one-upped me with very Merry Christmas to Gina Carano.
Oh, you little shit.
No,
I'm never even gonna fucking
Merry Christmas, Gina Carano. Very Merry Christmas, Gina Carano.
Guys.
No, I'm.
Well, I wished her Merry Christmas a couple hours ago, so I beat you all.
Nobody can beat you, Eric. Anytime I try to mod anything in the chat, you've already done it before I even get the chance. So,
well, I try my best. It makes it easy when we have such a great chat and crew and everybody else. So,
what's up, Eric K, the Modrotic? I'm going to time this tweet for later, which is going to have the very happiest Merry Christmas, Gina Carano. I'm doing it. Lauren Chen is following me too, dude. Lauren Chen. Lauren Chen is
right now.
No. Lauren Chen is following me too.
How long until Drunk Tripio?
And by the way, Mark the Cyborg.
Every one of you.
Mark the Cyborg locked it down. I think Mrs. Cyborg. Now it's going to be Mrs. Cyborg. So congratulations, Mark the Cyborg from Geeks and Gamers. He popped the question to his lady, and she actually said yes. I can't believe it.
Good for him.
Sweet. So congratulations, buddy. So I'm timing that tweet for later. You don't know when it's going to happen, Az.
I've already got my proof. I'm tweeting out my proof. I'm going to tweet out my proof.
Mine's going to come after yours anyway. It doesn't matter.
Proof.
I'm going to read a couple super chats here. We're going to go for 10 more minutes, and then I've got to eat dinner. And then I will be, what's today? Today's Friday, right? God, Christmas falling on Friday. So I'm on Friday Night Tights.
December
Friday,
25th,
right?
Gary.
You're on Friday Night Tights.
December 25th. Is it Christmas? Is it Christmas or New Year's? I've been working a lot. This is why I'm always supposedly late. I have no sense of time. I'm going to be live again tomorrow. So if you guys want to sit through a Star Trek Discovery review, then we'll open it up, and I'm just going to do a live square up for all the super chats, holiday super chats. But I'm going to start it out by reviewing Star Trek Discovery because I got to review 2 episodes.
Sorry.
I know. No, I've already.
You are a man of dedication to continue doing that, Gary.
I'm a bit of a masochist.
What's the term? Masochist? Or is it sadistic?
I look like Pike now after watching that Discovery.
You know, I only could get through 10 minutes of the first episode, and that's when I gave up.
At this point, I think it's like when you are trying to remove how does this it's called this blood that is dried on your skin because you had a wound.
Scab.
Yeah, you're trying to peel it, and you start noticing that there's some blood, and the wound is opening again, but you keep doing it. And then you have the wound opened again.
I can't get through the first episode. I tried. I just can't.
No,
it's garbage.
It's hot, flaming garbage.
There's other words I would like to use, but I can't because I'm in my clerics.
Okay. Did you see what's trending? Pedro Pascal's performance in Wonder Woman 84. Don't tell me it's like nuanced and great.
If you're ham, UK trending, so maybe is it on US trending or worldwide trending?
It was on my trending, so
trending Pedro.
It's 18,000 tweets, so it's not.
I mean,
really...
he wasn't horrible, but like, come on, guys, he was pretty hammy. He was hamming it up until the end.
Wonder Woman 84 was a major letdown. What a mess of a movie. Great parts of the Hans Zimmer score, Kristen Wiig and Pedro. But Kristen Wiig, she was shit. And Pedro Pascal. So really ruins this movie for me. Lacked the emotion and the heart of the first film. Had very disappointing, but not awful. It was shiny.
I got a free trial. I was just going to say I bought Tenet on 4K last week, and I got a 2-week free trial of HBO Max. I'm waiting till the Snyder Cut comes out to enable it. I figure I'll watch it then. Plus Wonder Woman. And honestly, I dread it. I really dread it.
Skip Wonder Woman, dude. So I want to forget what this guy put in the picture. That's terrible. No, I want you to notice. I want you to notice. It says Frank, and look at his look at his avatar. It's Mark Hamill. It is Luke Skywalker. He goes, yes, I'm watching a movie for kids just because Pedro Pascal is in it. But you got a Luke Skywalker
fucking
avatar.
Pronouns in his profile.
Yeah, let's see Frank here. Yes, he does.
Oh, what do you know?
Yeah.
It's almost like they're just setting it up for us at this point, really, right?
Oh, that's the one you just read.
Can anyone answer me this? Does this movie has buttholes? Like Cats, there's a butthole version?
Oh,
the CGI,
right? The butthole cut. The butthole cut. Yes. Maybe. You know what? Maybe they do because there's the cheetah butthole cut. Maybe. I don't know. Fleetwood. Yeah.
The fastest asshole there.
This is a bunch of simping.
Remind everybody that there is a father present.
So it's a bunch of
forgive us, Father, please.
It's Friday Night Tights. It's simping for Pedro Pascal. That's all this is.
It's just simping for Pedro Pascal.
Oh my
and we can all subscribe to the Nerd Father and save our souls. So
we can.
This is the second time.
Oh, it take a little bit more than that.
This is the second time that Pedro Pascal's been in Wonder Woman.
What is it?
Because he was also in the pilot for the failed Wonder Woman.
That's true. That is very true.
Whoa! What? Pedro Pascal was in the David R. Kelly one.
Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was that bad.
Pilot, yeah.
I watched it and I didn't think it was. I've seen much worse. As a matter of fact, on CW called Batwoman and everything else. I don't know how that. That maybe that's when they had standards, but if you watch the pilot, it's not that bad.
And you tell me what you think, because I personally think this is a fantastic shot of the movie.
I think so too.
I think it's
How is he keeping his eyes up?
Uplifted by this.
I feel
personally.
pretty uplifted by it myself. I mean,
Yeah.
she did a great job as Kelly on the Orville, but she is.
I think you mixed whatever service Wonder Woman is on and Pornhub.
In other words, Pedro used to be in porn. Wait, what?
I'm voting on a poll on Twitter because I'm on. It's not like I'm live right now, but I want to ask you guys who would be better for the role of Gomez Adams in the Adams Family for Tim Burton, Johnny Depp, or Pedro Pascal?
Pedro.
Neither.
I gotta go Pedro.
Pedro Pascal.
I go with
Johnny
Johnny
Depp has this
Rami
weird
Malek.
quirk, so he will be terrible. Gomez Adams is a straight, nice gentleman, totally bonkers, but he's
supposed to be.
straight.
Yeah, he's supposed to be. Yeah, no, he's supposed to be like the straight fatherly type. By the way, it's a great damn show. It's a great cartoon, and I love the movies, the other movies too. So
I think Rami Malek would make the better choice.
Rami Malek.
Yeah. That's a
Christina
good
Ricci,
suggestion.
Christina Ricci, and Rami Malek. That'd be my choices.
Also, this is the second Pedro Pascal film I've seen today because he's the villain in Equalizer 2.
That's right.
That's right. I completely forgot Equalizer too.
I have had a Pedro Pascal day.
You have, Pedro.
You do seem to be enjoying your Pedro there, as you know.
I know. I mean,
I want to give him credit for one thing. He understood that the fans were enraged by his actions, so he stopped being an asshole. And you know what? Yeah. That's enough. Sometimes Brie Larson never stopped being an asshole, so now she is fully hated. In one point, you gotta say, okay, I'm screwing this up. I gotta take a step back and just don't get everybody on pitchforks by anything I say. So,
hey, Gary, do you go with the finger Brie?
Do I want to what? Finger Brie?
You will get the splinters.
To finger Brie.
Do I want to finger Brie? No.
You are trying to.
I would rather have you did it.
Good. You will get the splinters all over your.
Yeah. I've already
Do I have to
got
leave?
Stop doing
No, you
that
don't.
cheese, man.
It's Brie.
Fingering Brie. Yeah, but somebody else might want to eat some.
What, his cat?
Never mind. Az is the only one there. Now you're not going to be able to poop for a
Oh
week.
my God, Father. It was your choice to come here. I'm sorry. This is a test, Father, and you are going to make it to heaven because you made it past this.
I'll say some prayers for you.
Can you believe Brie Larson one day was, I need an artistic name. What is a good French name? I know, a cheese.
Cheese? Why not? That was probably, I doubt she thought of it. It was probably an agent. Yeah. Shout out to a drunk 3PO, by the way, the OG Gina Carano simp. By the way, yeah.
By any means, is Drunk 3PO already subscribed to Drunk 3PO, or that will be breaking YouTube in any way?
That might break YouTube. That might be some YouTube inception.
Okay, so it's like when you Google.
I mean, there needs to be a sober 3PO. That would probably be it. But simp
there's
3PO.
sober R2D2.
Sober
He has a
R2D2.
channel and it's great.
I want a meth 3PO. Meth 3PO would be good. Yeah. Scottish Nerd for £2 says nobody will out simp drunk 3PO.
Sober
for
R2D2
Gina.
though?
You're right. You're right. Well, R2 Re2? No.
Sober R2D2.
Yeah, I know about sober R2D2. But does he make content?
Sometimes.
I guess he has 2 or 3 videos, but those videos are great. It's just him giving shit about Drunk 3PO in the most hilarious situations possible.
You get the one thing we all love about Jay Drunk 3PO is he's a good guy, and he always looks in the you can see him looking at himself in the camera like he's looking at himself in the mirror. He's always doing a little duck lipping and stuff. I love that about Jay. He's like, God damn, I'm handsome. So see, I did it. Sorry, Father. Yeah, give me a Hail Mary. I was raised on the streets, folks, by wolves, by rabid wolves and meth dealers. I have no excuses.
You know, F-bombs, and all that doesn't bother me. But
No.
that one,
Yeah, I get in trouble for that one. See, but yeah, I learned that from my dad. Sorry. Welcome to the Geloja level, Eric. I appreciate that. Let's see. We've got. Oh, they don't. Why can't you click on that? That's so dumb. YouTube. You should be able to click on the membership thing.
Jake D.
I am Dursk. Welcome to the.
She's delivering the goods. I didn't realize she was behind me there, but you know, need a little more caffeine to keep going up, keep up with you guys.
I am Dursk. Welcome to the Geloja level. I appreciate it. And okay, and then Joseph Font, welcome to the Proto Molecule level. Those are the new memberships. We're going to have a member stream this Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Father Christopher Miller might be there to hand out my punishment. And
you know, the penance I always wanted to give is to cut down the mightiest tree in the forest with a herring.
Okay. Can it be?
You remember
can it be
where that's from?
Yes.
Me. But only after you deliver a couple shrubberies.
Yes.
A herring-shaped saw. So we're going to wrap this one. Thank you for the super chats. Again, I got some from last night. So tonight I'm going to mop up and we're going to take care of, give them all their individual due on Saturday, probably around noon. So around the time, what a nooner, well, not the normal nooner because those start at 2 or 3, what an earlier nooner. And I'm going to review Star Trek Discovery and do a square up. Let's go around the horn and people can plug their channels and tell us what they're all planning for the week and the New Year's. And we'll start with Eric K. What are you going to do?
Hey, thank you for everybody for making it a great year. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all. You all see me around everywhere because everywhere I stop, they make me a mod, it seems like. So
guilty.
But take care, everybody. Happy holidays. And next year will be a much better year than this year. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Eric. Jake D.
Yes, sir. Well, Gary, thank you so much for having me on tonight, man. It's just been an absolute pleasure being here with y'all. As Tom, been seeing you guys and Gary stream for ages, and it's just an absolute honor to be invited on. You can find me on my own little channel, Jake D, just like you see it spelled right there. You'll know you got the right one if you see this logo. Do a lot of coverage, of course, was working on The Mandalorian. I seem to be about the only person in the fandom menace covering The Stand, which has worked out pretty good for me. It's my first 1,000-view video, first 100-hour video, so I'm really pleased with that. It's going nicely.
Who just appeared in The Strand?
The Stand.
Who just appeared in it?
Well, we had Heather Graham.
Pedro Graham.
On
Is
The
he in it
Stand?
too? Well, yeah, I think I just saw it on the Tinterwebs. He's going to be on The Strand.
He's getting a lot of work.
The Stand. Not Stephen King's The Strand.
Strand?
The Stand.
Stand.
I heard it wasn't very good. Is it good, Jake?
All right. Leave me be.
Leave you Bree?
Your
I'll leave
finger
you
probably
Bree.
smells better.
To Bree or not to Bree? That is the question.
Leave you Bree.
Yeah, we also have, every Sunday we do a show that starts a couple hours before the Inquisition, cuts off right about when you guys get started. Have a panel of folks that you've seen in the chat quite a bit. Give a quick shout out to Matt at Foul Bowel Productions, who's a frequent guest, Vigilante Williamson, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. Those guys and a few others join me every Sunday evening. And we talk about a lot of the stuff that you see here on FNT and the Inquisition. And we just have a really good time. And it's, it's a fun panel. And again, it's just been an honor to be here tonight.
Thanks, Jake. Pablo, plug whatever you like.
Yeah. In YouTube, I'm Geektropology. Is misspelled because I didn't care. I was doing just this random name, and well, somehow I have 13 subscribers, and that's 13 too much.
Hey, we'll get you up to at least 15, I think, tonight. I think we can do that. I think we can.
Yeah, that's me.
I don't know. I didn't gain any subs for like 3 weeks. It was crazy. But it's turned back on. So thanks.
Once
Pablo,
YouTube
thanks for coming on.
Unsubscribed my best friend, and yeah, I had 5 subscribers. Then I was on 4 subscribers, and he called me, dude, I'm unsubscribed from your channel. What's happening? Did you close your channel? No, YouTube don't like me. That's all.
No, YouTube doesn't like anybody.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not.
YouTube don't like themselves.
I was unsubscribed from Yellow Flash's channel while I was on his channel.
What the fuck?
While I was on his channel.
I've unsubscribed from you.
Yeah. I've never been
unsubscribed to you.
I think the winner is when I was unsubscribed from Midnight's Edge.
That was that wins.
Yeah, I think that was
that
the winner
wins,
of them all.
That's impressive.
Considering how much I go to the channel, yeah.
Yeah. Seeing that you have access to it too might be kind of important.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a wrench on it, for fuck's sake. Yeah, sorry.
See? It's Friday Night Tights. Father knew what he was getting into. And speaking of that, the nerd Father Christopher Miller.
I'm going to spend a little bit extra time up praying for you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You know, like I said, it's an honor to be on here with you. I've been following Friday Night Tights pretty much since it started. So to be able to be on with Az and Tom, it's a great thrill. My little channel is a mixture of theology and nerd culture. So nerd father, because I'm a priest and I'm a nerd. One of the things we've done on my channel, we've done a first Saturday stream of faith and fantasy, a mixture of theology and, like Lord of the Rings and nerd culture. So I think we're going to try to do that next Saturday.
I love that. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm just looking through these. Look at that. These are my,
I just thinking of that. I picked up a few years ago. I picked up a comic from one of the stores of Superman 2. They did it as a Daily Planet newspaper.
They did like an adaptation to it.
That's cool.
Pretty much. I'll send you. I'll send you an image of it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I mean, I know they did Wednesday Comics, which I loved. Every shop owner hated them, but I loved it.
It was like a little magazine. Like Ian posted, like how they used to do it with the movies. I think they did this with Superman 2.
I thought I had everything they made for Superman 2. Maybe not.
Really?
I'll have to check
I'll send it to you.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Christopher Reeve's Superman was the first movie I ever saw with my grandfather in a VHS.
Wow, that's cool.
That's brilliant. Tom, what would you like to plug?
Steve Kenobi's got a channel. He doesn't want you to subscribe, so go subscribe to Steve Kenobi. Quarter Black Garrett doesn't have enough subscribers, and it's a damn shame.
Maybe if he shouted out his channel on Crowder once in a while.
What?
Maybe if he shouted out his channel on Crowder once in a while. He probably can't though. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
No, and I want to say thank you to all you guys. I love you all like brothers. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have anything to do but scream at clouds and
I like screaming at clouds, sticking our fingers in cheese.
Sticking our fingers in cheese like Az. See, here's the thing, guys. Az would do this shit if you weren't watching, so I can't really say that.
Az does the same thing off camera that he does on camera. This is not.
Oh God, you guys don't want to know what he does when
you really don't. You really, really don't.
No.
Oh, Father, I can't wait for you to read Santa's Ex-Husband. I'll send you a proof copy.
I'm looking forward to it. I still got to film my video on it.
Will he be getting a new charcoal road just to feel his stocking?
He's gonna get Santa or David. I can't say. He's gonna get something.
This is Santa's ex-husband. This isn't Santa. This is Santa's ex-husband.
Yeah.
Now I'm reading from.
You mean David? David, Santa's husband. Santa's ex-husband, David.
Now he's out the door.
David. Az. David.
Alpha Mega Records in the chat. This year lost a friend, a 13-year friend, Caroline Flack. She was a TV presenter here in the UK.
Oh.
So he just wanted to kind of have a memory out there and show a bit of love the Christmas time, which I can totally respect. I mean, it was quite a shock when she passed, actually, because I knew of her being a Brit, of course, and she was, not like a massive celeb at all, but she was one of those celebs that were kind of doing the stuff. So just giving a little bit of love for that. It's the second stream of the day with you and I.
Yep.
Huge thank you. I want to just give a huge thank you to the chat. The support that you've shown us this year has been absolutely incredible. since coming on in, when did I come on? March, April this year? I've just seen nothing but, huge amounts of love. A couple of fat bastards, but, huge amount of love. For all of us. And I, really do appreciate you coming and hanging out with us and just making this show just such a, wonderful experience to do, because it's fun to do with the guys. But when we look at the chat, when we see you laughing, when we see you participating, it just gives us such a lift. It's such a thrill to be able to entertain and hopefully, for the few hours that we do this a week, put a little bit of a smile on your face, because it has been a very, very difficult year, regardless, personally, for pretty much everybody, and we've all struggled mentally. We've all struggled with what's been going on, and it's great that we've got such a wonderful community and a wonderful solidarity between us. And I've been fingering Brie.
Just to mention, there's someone that literally is called Bastard on the chat, and he's an incredible guy.
Yes,
so
he is.
We have a bastard on our community, and he's the best bastard we can have.
He's the best.
He is our bastard.
He's our bastard.
And by God, we love him.
Bastard too. I don't know who my father is. So, thanks for being on, Tom, and Jake and Pablo and Father. Thank you for all your support. And we're gonna get. I'll get some more members on next Friday for New Year's. We'll send the message out. Eric K, I can't thank you enough for. I mean, I couldn't believe you were there last night and at that last minute, impromptu stream that turned into almost a 5-hour affair.
It ended at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I was sleepy. I was really, really tired, and you were still joking so hard I couldn't sleep.
Oh my God, it was so funny. Last night was it was just supposed to be like an hour. That's how it goes. But I was thinking about everyone who isn't with somebody right now. And I talked about, being locked up and being, during Christmas, and it was just a very somber time. So it was nice to if I can help you guys 1,000th as much as you've helped me and my family.
Fuck you, Gary.
Fuck
Have
you.
the very happiest Merry Christmas, Gina Carano.
And with that,
I win. I always win. So to the mod Rodix and thank you for all your thankless work, and to the chat, thank you for all your support. Always, Friday Night Tights is the highlight of this channel, of my week. And I get to live stream with so many freaking cool people. Even Doomcock on the Inquisition. I love that show as well. And I'm gonna keep doing it as long as you guys want it. And I can't thank you guys enough for this year. I can't tell you how screwed we would be without you guys. This was not supposed to be a job that was supposed to support family or anything, and it won't be forever, but you guys made that happen, and I can't thank you enough. So everybody have the merriest of Christmas. Have a very happy New Year. I will see you before then, and I'll be live tomorrow again. So for Odin, for Comics Division, for Quarter Black Garrett, Jeremy with his 17 channels, and Ryan, the cranky little bastard that he is. Could you imagine when Ryan turns into a grumpy old man? Yeah, I don't know.
And Lady Gravemaster.
Lady Gravemaster, Perry Chan. Yeah, and just
legend.
You can subscribe to everybody. Their links are in the description below. We've got some credits now that Perry put together of all the members. I've been promising this forever, but all the members and people from Patreon, you've all been put on the credits. So if you want to see your name, just stay tuned. It'll be up there. And everybody, take it easy. If I can get to the intro, there we go.
Boomerit.
What is going on here? Jeremy, the fucking ghost!
Fuck you, Ryan.
Every fucking time. What the fuck? You're scaring the old ladies. Other than that, you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video.
Meanwhile. Right.
My name is Daniel Kibblesmith, and I am the writer of New Warriors #1.
Dude. What the hell?
I want to feel all of the excitements. Snowflake is non-binary, goes by they, them.
Nerderotic.com.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. That was almost as good as our singing Happy Birthday.
That It's gonna sound like.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
I don't know that shit.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
You get the lyrics wrong on that one.
And justice for all.
Merry Christmas.
Talking about, man. Sweet Land of Liberty. That's a country western song by